In three, two. Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Monday. And you know what that means? It is time for the Stay at Home Open Mic presented by Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, aka BWOMS. I know there's a lot of AKAs. My name is Richie Marufo, and I will not be your host today. I am the project director of this thing, and we are based out of El Paso, Texas, here in the Southwest U.S. I'm really excited as always. Monday nights are for online open mics. Lots of performers are signed up. We got poets and writers who are gonna share some of their work, whether it be new stuff, new shit, or just trying maybe finding old stuff and bringing it back. I found in the past I've read stuff from high school journals. I'm like, yo, this is super embarrassing, but it is a place. It's a workshop space. It's a playground. I do want to thank you for tuning in. If you are watching this live, again, thank you. Straight up, you're a real one. That means you were waiting for us to go live. As always, please feel free to say hello in the live chat. I know that I like it, but I know that everyone else pretty much enjoys when you guys are interacting with us in the live chat and applauding. I know we appreciate our regulars in that sense. And of course, we've got a whole night, and we do have our guest host tonight, and I want to make sure he's ready. So I'll wait for him to give me the thumbs up. Let's see. Okay, cool. Do an intro and everything. So check it out really quick though. Matt, let's do some front office stuff. So, stay at home open mic. This is every Monday. If you want to participate in the future, be on the lookout. We do have a sign up the weekend before that Monday that goes up online. You can follow us online, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. This YouTube channel, for example, if you want to be see the first iteration of the list that goes out with the sign up sheet, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel. That is actually right down here. In this little window right there, there's a little button that says subscribe. If you do that, click on that bell. You'll be notified every time we upload a new video, including the online mics. I set up the online mics pre-show or before they go live, and in the description you can always see a link to sign up. And of course, once you do and sign up and all that stuff, you'll be sent an email of a receipt of all your answers, including the login info. So if you're ever interested in doing that, of course, you're more than welcome to hang out with us on the YouTube live stream, on the chat. Definitely leave a comment. Who did you like? Is there a particular line that stood out to you or made you feel something? This is all a great way to get feedback. As from all the performers, all the writers, it helps to know which lines are working. At the same time, I do think if there's something that maybe you took issue with, let us know. I mean, this is one way to workshop many aspects of our work. So, without further ado, I am happy to introduce the debut of a new host here at BWOMS. We've had several in the past, but today's guest host is joining us from the East Coast. That's right, the beautiful element of being able to do this online is that we can have people host and participate from time zones and from all over the world. So our today's guest host facilitates two New York Public Library writing circle groups, and founded and runs the Bronx Art and Fun Hub organization. I definitely want you to plug that. As always, he's welcome to share a piece or two to kick things off. If not, he's going to be introducing today's guests. Do you have access to the list, by the way? I did. I emailed it to you.
Yeah,
So
I didn't get a chance to check it, so I'm going to check it right now. If you give me another half a minute, or if you can
yeah,
paste it in the chat, then I can see it as well.
for sure. So while he gets that ready, if you guys are watching this and you want to support, what I would recommend is maybe sending a donation to Ron. We can get that information and we can leave it not only in the Zoom chat but on the YouTube chat. Be on the lookout. Today, what I'll be doing is running things in the background, looking through chat, working with the live stream, and sharing links. And hopefully that goes well. Yeah, let's see. I think you're here now. No. Oh, there you are. Got you.
Um,
Got you. You got access to the list. Whew. Do you want to study it really quick?
Nope, it's okay. I see the first two performers. That's all I need. I'm a pro. I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years. And
Awesome, guys. So, without further ado, I am going to hand over the baton to the super amazing, super nice, super positive, and just wonderful Ron Marc Thomson. Go and take it away, my friend. It's all you.
thank you so much, Richie. You're so welcoming. I really appreciate it. Yes, I did receive the list. Like I'm doing multitasking. I literally just came from my previous job at the New York Poets Cafe. I'm going to take down this sign and put the BWOMS logo in the next few minutes up while the first poet performs. Gotta be professional. But thank you so much, Richie. Thank you, kid. I'm really excited to be here. I'm a bit nervous, and I shouldn't be, because I've been guest hosting at other organizations. I'm hosting my own programs at Bronx Art and Fun Up. I will plug that in the chat later. And in lieu of sending me cash, I always tell, the way you can support me is by coming to my programs, by supporting the community, coming here to BWOMS, coming to the New Regan Poets Cafe, going to Fincapillary, going to Word is Right, support everyone. This is always a great support. So, and again, thank you for the community. Thank you, Richie. I really love your voice and your welcoming style. I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago. I met you first at Finn Capillary's podcast when Finn Bell interviewed you. And I think you did a little bit rapping too, if I remember correctly, a little bit music, and then a few weeks later, let me check out him, got here at BWOMS. Met Kid Ren, have seen him at Tumblewords Project as well, so I want to make sure we plug that as well. And since then, I've been trying to come to as many Mondays as I as I can make it. Right after the New Regan Poets Cafe's online open mic, it's a tradition for me. Like just come here and end the night this way. So I really like what you guys are doing. I hope that when I do visit Texas and Marissa, in New Mexico and Camlin in Arizona, I'm gonna add all three of you like to a round, like a week vacation, and I'll make sure we get to everyone. So I'll give you my word for this. All right, I did not bring a poem. I was so busy the last few days, and I actually cheated on the Bronx. I went to my sister's house in New Jersey over President's Day weekend. We went hiking. I got my socks and my boots dirty, because all the mud and all the snow, but it was all good. But I made it back here to the Bronx. This is where I'm zooming in from. So thank you everyone for being here. So according to the list, we have coming up first Deadpan Lizzie, on deck Christopher T. George. Now let me make sure. Yep, Elizabeth is here. So why don't we then? So we're gonna start with our first performer. This is the Barbed Wire open mic series online Monday evening on open mic. So first up, Elizabeth Strauss. Are you there, Elizabeth? Can you unmute yourself?
I'm unmuted. I'm
Yay!
good.
Elizabeth, what an honor for me to introduce you first. You've been such a great friend. Met you in person. We've gone through big and small, lots of, things, but, this is what friendships are for. You've taught workshops at my Bronx Art and Fun Up. You run your own open mics at the Word is Right, which we're going to ask you after your performance. And it's almost like a tradition. I don't know how you do it, but you always manage to sign up and be the first or the second one here. So I'm so glad, however you do it. Maybe Richie, puts you in, but that's a different story. Don't tell us the secret. So glad you're here. How are you doing today? And then go ahead and let us hear what you brought.
I'm fine. Happy to see you hosting. I mean, it's not a secret. Just sometimes I check the Linktree thing in the BWOMS Instagram and see if he's posted the date. That's all. And he lets us choose if it's like the beginning, middle, or end, and he's very kind to us East Coasters because it's a little late on him. So we appreciate that, Richie. Thank you. This is new shit. I started like an hour ago. It's just called a poem. I don't know what to write, so I just type. I don't know where to continue to sprout my roots, so I will here on Long Island soil. I don't know why she will not leave me alone, so I continue to ghost. I don't know why depression has taken over my body, so I try to make the best of it. I don't know why I cannot get back into my routine. Maybe I'm not meant to. What I do know, I ripped myself out of a rotting terracotta pot before it got much worse. No one can blossom when freezing in sadness. That the mulch I trek around in eventually turns into decent flowers. Some will not fully bloom, and it will always be okay. I don't know if I will reach all my goals 1 year from now. I don't know if it means my journey is meant to travel in different directions or others, one possibly too familiar, one I have never thought about, the scariness of life, the beauty of it, simply the game of life, where board becomes 3D, the cards become worn out, and smiles will be worn proudly again, but not forced. We can scowl and not be asked if there is a problem, shuffling through the broken cracks in the cement, making them bigger, leaving our marks. When forced, we break. When pushed, we have the option to grow. A poem about nothing but everything, the beauty of poetry. It never has to make sense, and it always will. Thank you.
Wow, everyone. Everyone, unmute yourself, please, and give a big round of applause for Deadpan Lizzie.
Right, Deadpan.
Thank you.
Okay, Lizzie. Yeah. All right, Lizzie.
And don't worry, you're in a safe space here. I'm so glad that you came, wrote, and read that. This is the perfect, space to let out, your feelings, to tell us how you're feeling. It will get better. I know it sounds cliche, but I know you're a strong woman. I've seen you now for over a year now. It will get better. So thank you for being brave to share what you've been going through. And as you know, I'm just a text, a phone call, or a visit away. And I know we're going to see each other in New York City soon again when you come back to the city. So Elizabeth, let everyone know again where we can find you. You will still host your online open mic with The Word is Right, which would be next, not this week, but next week. Is that correct?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I dropped in I renamed my Zoom box and in the Zoom chat, ES_Strauss. That's my link tree, my Venmo, my Instagram, most of the important handles, at least the ones that will lead you to where if you want to find me. Yes, I did take last Tuesday off, just I needed a break, and Marissa and you were kind enough to pinch hit for me. But I will, of course, return next week, and everything else I do is in my link tree if you want to learn more about my parallel cruise.
Sounds good. Thank you. Take care of yourself, be well, and please keep coming back to as many online events as you can make it. So thank you so much for being here. Deadpan Lizzie, Elizabeth Strauss, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, Christopher T. George, on deck, Doc Channing. And I have to give a kudos to Richie, because now that I'm actually the guest co-host, guest host, I've never even realized that the list that you emailed me, Richie, includes all the locations as well, because I'm like, I don't have the memory of Richie. I know some where everyone is located, but not everyone. So I'm like, I got it right in front of me here, like on the back end. So I really appreciate, you're doing this. So Christopher T. George, I should know where he is zooming from Newark, Delaware, because he just recently featured at Bronx Art and Fun Hub with Diane Ward. We do an ekphrastic poetry and prose workshop every first Thursday of the month, and you were our feature this month, 2 weeks ago. And as you remember, Christopher, I was amazed at you because I knew you as the poet and historian, but I didn't realize you also take photographs and you paint as well, so that showed me like a whole different side of you. I'm so happy you're here. I see you at almost every BWOMS as well. Thank you for supporting us. Christopher, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well, and I'd like to do the share screen.
Oh, then I know where I can enable it, but I need Richie's approval, or Richie can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to go.
You got it. It's up.
All right. Okay. I'm going to begin with an ekphrastic poem. Let me get to the beginning of this. This is, as you can see, it's a image by a Merseyside photographer. I call it Sunnyside street art in New Haven, Scotland, in Leith. just by Edinburgh. And I know you want an Olympic update, so here it is. On Saturday, Finnish cross-country skier Remi Lindholm suffered a frozen penis during the men's 50-kilometer race. And I can't pronounce that. He told the Finnish media, "It's one of the worst competitions I've been in, with howling, freezing winds, making for chilling temperatures." And this was posted on a Liverpool site, and I countered with this, which is an older poem of mine, a celebrated appendage. English actor David Niven quipped when a streaker interrupted the Oscars, "The only laugh that man will ever get is by stripping and showing his shortcomings." But Niven was once caught short himself. His penis got frostbite while filming a skiing sequence for the Pink Panther. Advised that the best first aid would be to soak his wounded member in alcohol, he retired to the restroom with a brandy snifter, declaring, "I always like to give it a drink now and then." And I'm going to be giving a talk on the British monarchy on Wednesday, and I was a little bit nervous about this, especially this morning, pretty depressed. And then I realized I've already put together a 60 image presentation. So here's our Queen, and this was written to a relative of mine, 2003, Mr. and Mrs. Ken Matchett. My uncle was a music hall comedian, and Ken was his son, who was general manager of the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra. And Ken was pretty disparaging of the Beatles when they first came out. And they won't last, which was the same attitude as the people that be the city fathers in Liverpool. And so they allowed the original cavern where the Beatles played to be destroyed. So it had to be rebuilt. And I was there for the reopening of it. And Cynthia Lennon was there. Mike's brother, Paul McCartney's brother, Mike was there. I was able to meet him too. Let me move on a little bit. And this is Her Majesty and Paul at the opening of the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts on Mount Street, 1996, which he founded pretty much. And you'll know this guy, George III, and I'm going to be talking about him a little bit during the presentation. And there's kind of a reassessment of him by Andrew Roberts, which I'll be talking about during my talk. And the only time that England was very close to becoming a republic was in the Civil War in the 17th century. And this is a kind of cartoonish illustration of the time. And here's this man, Oliver Cromwell, who was the guy who ruled England after the execution of Charles I in 1649. And I'll end with this one, which is kind of traditional. The legend of the Green Man. The Green Man persists through the lies, the obfuscations, the pretentious accents, and the newspaper pirate hats crafted from today's headlines. The Green Man peers at you from behind the tree trunk, entwined by the yellow-eyed luminescent serpent, just as he spied on the Persian archers, the Roman pikesmen, who tramped through the forest, leaving their dead slumbering under the fall leaves. Still, we earn our salaries, as did those soldiers, rewarded with salt, and we never look back. We pretend we are in receipt of the generous donations, largesse of the gods, golden leaves that mound up in attic chests. The green man is watching you through each day's relentless trek. The never-ending commercial static, something that you can't control, despite all the newfangled inventions, something primal and obscene. Yes, yes, you saw him once seen, never forgotten. Listen, he's listening to you, watching your every move. Thank you.
Yes, everyone, please unmute yourself. Give a big round of applause to Christopher T. George.
George! Woo! Yes!
What I like about Christopher, you walk away with something that we didn't know. I don't believe that everyone knew what he was telling us. It's so informative about history. I didn't mention, and I noticed from his bio that he gave to Bronx Art and Fun Up and that we shared that he is originally from Europe, from the UK. I'm from Germany, but we both found our way across the ocean, and you still have ties there. Thank you for telling and showcasing us. So Christopher, it's amazing, and I'm always blown away but with what you tell us and show us. Let everyone know again, how can we follow you if we want more from you and we want to follow you on social media, or are there any features coming up that you may be in the next few days or weeks?
I'll put them in the chat. Thanks, Ron Marc.
Perfect. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right. His screen share also gave me a chance to change my actual background instead of virtual background. I tried to make it a little bit bigger, but when I got back home, I just went to Staples, printed out the logo. And you're like, why isn't Ron using a virtual background? Well, my computer apparently is not strong enough to display a virtual background without a green screen. I have a green screen. I didn't put it back yet, so I will do that. So, hey, I grew up in a poor country, East Germany, communism. I know how to make makeshift with little things. So it's the sentiment and then the thought that counts. So, and by the way, Richie and Kit, your logo is great. I'm actually want to let us know who designed that logo. Did you guys do this in-house? You did? Oh my God, add Richie. Okay, if anyone needs any logo created, Richie will do it for a fee though. Can't do everything for free. Okay. All right. Talking about virtual backgrounds, what a great segue. How coincidental. So we have coming up next a Doc Channing. On deck, get ready, Camlin, but a Doc Channing. And Doc, I'm sorry, my accent is a little bit tough, I'm so
Quite all right.
It's okay, Doc. But Doc, that is not you don't have to tell it, but it's not your first name though, right? Is it, or?
You are correct. I'm called Doc because I'm a retired podiatrist, and B, I did first aid for many, many years in scouting.
Oh, wow. And you are the poet laureate of Ohio, if I remember.
No, of South Euclid, Ohio.
Oh, but didn't I predict that that's just the beginning? You will be the poet laureate of the entire state eventually, right?
Oh, well, who knows? Who knows?
We're putting it in the universe. This is why you have the globe in the universe behind you. So never say never. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. You are our poet laureate, here on Monday evenings. You always support so many platforms, so many communities. Doc Channing, the floor's all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. Infinite moments. The beginning of forever is waves and particles of light refracted into colors of love and sounds of light. They dance onto sacred shores of hopes and dreams from wine-dark seas of time. And in the uncertainty of all, I will love you in all the infinite moments, befores of todays, beyonds of tomorrows, and through the forevers beyond forever. This has no title. It's very short. I guess you could say it's a micro poem. I sit in the evening of my life, in the library of imagination, in the library of emotions, visions, and dreams, working on the infinite cosmos of poetry. And I'll finish with Nexes. I have lived many lives within this one, a child, a student, a fool, a father, a healer, a leader, a cook, a listener, an empath, and now a poet and a writer. I have lived thus in many worlds, worlds which have all overlapped and intertwined in the polyglot of time and the twisted road to me as a poet and a writer. Just me, myself, and I. 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 A convoluted, overlayered mix for which a nexualist and interpreter I must be, speaking every entwined language, knowing where they meet each day, of time and the twisted road to me as a poet and a writer, knowing where they all, I apologize, it moved over on me. Having problems.
It's okay.
Knowing where they all may be in this nomadic whirlwind life of time and the twisted road as a poet and a writer. Just me, myself, and I. Just me, myself, and I. Thank you.
Everyone, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Doc.
Wow.
Awesome, man.
Beautiful, Doc. Beautiful.
Yes, indeed. Me, myself, and I, Doc Janet. This is just so profound, so powerful. And by the way, the other poem, with the one you mentioned, it's short. Maybe that should be the title. It is short, or a short poem. You know, like a clever, you know, the hook, you know, for the poem itself, though. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Or just title it micropoem.
Hey, that's good too. You know, micro poem, you know, little longer than a haiku, but not enough to be a full poem. But hey, every poem, no matter the length or size, I actually have to find it. I had the poem.
Well, maybe it should be called a loku.
Wow, here we go. At BWOMS, we were inventing new terms, you know, for poetry. That's the right spot. Doc Channing, please let everyone know again where we can follow you. And is there anything upcoming where you will be featuring or teaching or hosting at you yourself?
Nothing until next month. And in fact, my own event, Our Nights, the person who was supposed to be my feature has bowed out due to family things. And I am in the process of figuring out who I want to invite to be my feature. So.
Well, look around the Zoom room here. You know, we have currently 21 people here. So if there's anyone here, just, you know, reach out to them, you know, privately, you know, and maybe they will feature. If not, I know, you know, many other, you know, poets in the community as well.
We shall see who it shall be.
Sounds good. If not, we're gonna see you. Hope you know next week again. Thank you so much, Doc.
I think so.
Yes, next week. Yes, you better be here. And by the way, as the host or guest host, it's a little bit tough to follow the chat because, you know, I'm doing all the other things though, but I did get a chance to, as Richie knows himself, you know, I was like, it's the same at Bronx Southern Fun Up, like, you know, I never have a chance to look at the chat, but I scrolled a little bit up though, so, and I loved what Urban Cowboy said about history. You always learn, when you study history, you learn learn something old every day. At first I thought you meant odd, because of the reference to Christopher T. George, what he taught us, but no, you meant old, so that's very clever. And then Lee Martinez Sotis, you mentioned something about, depression, and I know you didn't mean it like this, but then that last word, my brain is an ass. I mean, that's how my brain sometimes feels too. So I know it wasn't meant like this, but it does sound funny and, sometimes sadly true, but, we have to deal with it. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Lee Martinez Soto later on as well. However, on the list now, and yep, I see Richie put it in, but I'm going to go by the spreadsheet that he sent me. We have Camlin on deck, their login, but let's get to Camlin 10 Baby first. And all right, she is like, okay, I don't have time for your small talk, Ron. Let me screen share. Let me start a screen share. So while you have the tiger up, Camlin, at least allow me to introduce yourself. So hold your horses, okay? Because Camlin also has become a wonderful friend who I met through Finn Bell, and I'm so glad I got to meet you online. You have also featured at Bronx Art and Fun Hub with your wonderful artwork, your paintings, your drawings. I did go to your one-woman online theater show, which was so powerful, so profound. And I'm gonna get to see you in person in less than 2 weeks. On March 5th, you're gonna come to New York City from Arizona, where you're coming from, and you're gonna be attending the New Regan Poets Cafes, both the hybrid, and if you have some energy left, we're doing karaoke night right after. So and I'm gonna get interviewed by you and your brother. I'm like, you're like, Ron, we don't have time for chit chat. When I come to New York City, you better get all your stuff done. So it'll be a good full day, but I know you can only make it for like a day or two. I'm looking forward to this. Camlin, how are you today? And I'm so glad you're here. And whenever you're ready, go ahead with your...
Thank you so much, Ron Marc Thomson. I am so excited about going to New York on March 5th and being a part and performing at the New Regan Poets Cafe. And I want to let you know, shout out to all you people in El Paso, because you guys were my first live gig. So now, I came to El Paso before I came to New York, but that was definitely, New York was my second place I wanted to go live. So I'm really excited about being able to visit my friends up there in New York as well. So here I brought to you, I'm bringing something to you that I brought to Tokyo, because this summer I'm going to be doing my Asia tour, and Tokyo is my first stop, and I will be they're creating an event live for me. The Kotoba Slam Japan is going to be creating a space for me and my brother to perform. Yeah, so this is what I performed in Kotoba this last week. It's called Tiger. 两只老虎，两只老虎，跑得快，跑得快。一只没有眼睛，一只没有耳朵，真奇怪，真奇怪。Wild spaces, one's places across expands over our world now, ever shrinking, diminishing rainforests, oceans once teeming with an array of life. Now the extinct list grows exponentially. In my short lifetime, other species barely hang on a thread. I mourn you, splendid poison frog, spit macaw, northern white rhinoceros by D, Pyrean ibex, western black rhinoceros, the passenger pigeon, the quagga. Our recent casualties resulting from sins of human commission and omission. Lord, we have failed you as stewards of Eden. I am the worst of all, for it's from the barrels of my ancestors' gun that claimed the life of Singapore's last tiger. Top 10 reasons why you shouldn't pull the trigger. Number 1, hey, I didn't eat them. It was my cousin twice removed. 2, it was rather unsportsmanlike. I was just napping by Chua Chu Kang Road. 3, coolies, impossible. They're not my cup of tea. Pompous Englishmen. Muffins. I'm definitely vegetarian. 4, I'm so adorable. Look at these big, cute cat eyes. 5, do you really want to go down in history as the one who killed off the last tiger? 6, shouldn't we follow the diplomatic process? 7, surely you wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, tiger? 8, I have connections with renowned poets. My friend knows William Blake. 9, let's bring in an interpreter. You clearly do not grasp tiger nor our culture. 10, if man cannot live by bread alone, how can a tiger do the same? I am the man. I was man enough to pull the trigger, triggering future hate poems in generations to come. Come, be reasonable. Reasons, stop staring at me. I needed a tiger pelt rug with glass eyes now staring at me through nightmares, nights filled with new arousal, brows with essence brewed from tiger's paw and dried penises. It is all for posterity, for progeny, for populating our country. I tell you, stop staring at me. Damn your glass eyes. It was worth it. I am the man. I am the man. I am the man. 我是男人.
Wow. Is that it, Cameron? Can we go ahead and applause?
Woo!
Hey!
Aplauso! Yes.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
Kemlin. Yes.
Cameron, amazing, amazing. Cameron, where are you? Oh, here we are. Okay, it's so funny. Like, you see, my dyslexic brain, like when your screen share goes away, I saw you up on the top, but now you're like, Zoom put you at the bottom. It's like, wow. So, Cameron, how powerful, because, as we know, you don't just read your poetry and stories, you perform them with so much passion, and you did go through a lot of pain, in your life, so far. So it is so, and I told you, it is so brave of you, because by you telling us what you had to go through, you will inspire and encourage others to be better and get through whatever their pain, whatever their struggles are. So I really appreciate it. Camlin, also, I know we're going to do a stage play reading soon again. We mentioned, how do we support performers and poets here? Definitely support Camlin, because she does do a few paid events, and very affordable. Like, I remember your own one woman poetry show cost $5, and even I could afford it. I can go to Broadway, but I can make it to your shows. Camlin, I know you have many regular events going on. Please let everyone know in our Zoom audience and for YouTube. And yes, so please hold it close to the camera, so on YouTube everyone can see it, and verbally tell us where we can find you.
So you can find me on Facebook, Kemlin Ton Bappy, IG, Kemlin Bappy, Facebook, Q's Blue World. That's my production company. Oh, I'm not married. So, and IG, Q's Blue World as well. And please come join me if you're up at 5 a.m. in the morning, Mountain Standard Time, at my show Between the Lines every Tuesday. So come join us.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Camlin. Yes, but Camlin supports, truly the international community, because most open mics based out of the United States are either in the late afternoon or late evening. But Camlin made it her passion and her commitment to host them early in the mornings, Tuesdays, and some selected on Saturdays and Sunday, because in Asia, for them, it's night, as Unmesh knows, so we're going to get to, a little later on. So this is just, wonderful, Cameron, and it really gets people. I know I still have trouble getting up that early. I'm a late night person. That's why I don't mind guest hosting here today. But yes, please support Cameron, with everything she does Between the Lines and all her other shows. I'm looking forward to see you 2 weeks from now on Saturday. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate you. All right, coming. And that also is a good segue reminder. One way we can support each other here, even if we cannot afford to pay and go to every event, but the least we can do is zoom in, for free events such as Barbed Wire open mic series, such as Camlin, such as mine, Bronx Art and Fun Hub. I will put that in the chat. And sometimes time is more important. And as Richie and Kit know, for those of us looking for funding and grants, they look for numbers, for attendee numbers. How many people signed up? How many people attended in Zoom? And I know BWOMS does this. I do that too. I the number. I don't put who came, but I put the number of total people which who came every every day. We have an event going on. So this is one way you can support us. So thank you again, Camlin. Thank you, everyone. Let's move on to our next performer, which is Vale Lock, and on deck Unmesh. Unmesh, we accidentally pasted an older list, but you are on deck. I know you're still here. I saw you a little bit earlier. But first up, let's go to Pittsburgh. Let me be like Richie, because Richie always gives us the little travel around the world, around the nation. And Pittsburgh, Vale. Actually, I briefly visited Pittsburgh at night before the pandemic. My best friend Juan and his three girls, we went on vacation in Pennsylvania, and then his oldest daughter had to go back to college. So we drove at night from the resort where we're in Pennsylvania all the way to Pittsburgh, dropped her off at the airport, drove back, and that's, when I saw like, oh my God, the skyscrapers, I'm like, I need to come back to Pittsburgh one of these days. But that's as much as I remember. One of these days, I definitely will visit you. Vale, it's always a pleasure to see and hear you everywhere, everywhere that you support. Vale, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I just submitted my first manuscript to a publisher, so we'll see how that goes. And
Hold on a second. So is that a poetry collection or a novel or what? Poetry. Oh, well, great. Yeah, then please let us know once it gets published. We're going to manifest it just like with Doc Channing. I know it's going to get published. It's just a matter of time. And once this is the case, please let us know where we can buy it. And so I'm really looking forward to this. So this is amazing. Vale, I also love, I know you were a opera singer previously. I always love to hear some of your, older, songs, So it's always a pleasure. What you bring is always so profound. I'm looking forward what you brought here today. The floor and the mic is all yours. Go ahead, Vale.
thank you. You can follow me on Instagram at Vale Larkin, all one word, or you can see my links at Linktree, Vale Larkin, all one word. And I have a feature for FIMFA on the 27th, Sunday at, I think, 7 Eastern.
Yes, 7 Eastern when they do it on Sundays. You're right.
Okay, I'm going to start off with a short flash fiction piece from my manuscript. The book I'm trying to get published, it's called Kyrie for the Anthropocene, and it's all eco-poetry. Extinction Myth. On every side they rise, tiers of great marble steps, 5 feet deep at least, and more than twice as high, ample space to hold the placid masses standing there. The canyons between the petrified risers are gaping and vacant. Beneath the steps, the whirring whine of wings and the scrabble of chitinous claws on stone. Humanity stands on its fragile construction. Only our fingers could have smoothed ragged rock to that unnatural angle. Only we could have filled its maws with our amalgamated family. And deep below, the pad of great paws and the slide of scales. As I watch, the daylight begins ever so slowly to dim, and all around my fellow ghosts begin to stir and stretch and look about. It is time, they seem to say, silently. And underneath, voices like thunder and steel, broken by a heavy tread. One by one, they lead themselves quietly down in between the vast carrion cages of our ambition, footsteps fading. When dark arrives, They are all coming for us. Knowing unfolds. I see the great... Sorry, I just lost my place.
We got you, don't worry. We got you.
Just zipped me to a completely different page. Here we go. One by one, they lead themselves quietly down in between the vast carrion cages of our ambition. Footsteps fading. When dark arrives, they are all coming for us. Knowledge unfolds. I see the high reaches where the great beasts prowl and understand the comfort of a swift death. I cannot help but agree. Last breath held before walking inside. A roar and the dark throb of massive hearts. We have put the light out behind us, and all that remains is the gaze of our prey.
Wow. Okay, everyone, please unmute yourself.
I need one more.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that was a creative pause. Okay, you got me. See, I know Richie told you, why don't you test Ron a little bit then and see if we can, throw him off. Okay, everyone. But hold on a second. You know what, Vale? I demand everyone please give a intermission pause, a round of applause for Vale, and then we're gonna hear one more. So bravo.
Awesome.
And now to one more from Vale Locken. Go ahead.
I just did this one at New Yo, but I actually wrote it at 7 p.m. Eastern, so I'm kind of in the mood to test it out more. Very new shit. Wishes for the pre-existing. I wish you to understand how it felt when my body, unbidden, unprompted, began to break down. And slowly or suddenly or both all at once, so many things I loved were now just out of reach. I wish you to understand how it felt the first time I got into a wheelchair, after trying and failing to walk for much longer than I should. The air cooling and soothing my body and face, arms pumping, and I moved like something that moves and is alive, instead of something restricted to stumbling a short way and then stopping to cry. People think it's a curse to be in one. But from inside, it's a gift. I wish you to understand what it was like the first time someone treated me like I was a child when I was an adult right before I sat down in the chair. I wish you to understand what it was like the first time I was ghosted as soon as the word left my lips or the new photograph loaded. Watching that bright spark that flared for a moment between the two of us snuffed in the vacuum of their vanishing. I wish you to understand what it is like to have someone tell you you're pathetic and lazy and greedy because something happened to you and you weren't immortal or indestructible or anything that people who say that must be. I wish you knew what it was like to hear on the news that the government is happy that only people like you will die. When it's not even true. It's a lie. It's burgundy whitewash, death masked in the idea that lives are useless, as though we are useless or alone in our withering. I wish you knew what it is like to wake each morning, breathe, eat, write, read, listen, and see. How you reel with ideas and information, like the soul of the galaxy pouring into your heart through your senses and mind, and how far you can run, how high you can climb from a chair, reading faces, reading the world, creating. I wish you knew how it felt to hear people cry about their conveniences and hope you die faster. I wish you to understand that this is a choice. How you see us, this isn't inevitable. No one created us unloved. I wish you to understand.
Ooh. Everyone, please.
Okay.
Login. Wow. I wish Vale would know how much we love them, how much we appreciate them for always giving us such profound poetry and stories that really make us think, and really like, oh my God, we didn't realize, that we have to think like this. So Vale, it is always a pleasure to have you. I remember you so vividly at the New Regan Poets Cafe. Advocate and you did like a screen share one day where we heard your previous opera voice and a little bit computer generated voice, so powerful. I saw it here like a week or 2 weeks later at BWOMS as well. Like I want to hear more of this. It's always amazing. Vale also mentioned that they will feature at FUMFA Live, which is also a great segue because I myself have featured there the day before Valentine's Day with Brian Frango, Terry Rose Jurtson, Midnight, Phil Midnight, and a few others. And then just yesterday, Elizabeth Strauss featured there. I didn't have a chance yet to look at it. I will look at this. So if you do, and Vale mentioned that they will feature there this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I put the FUMFA links in the chat. If for any reason you miss it live, you can then rewatch it on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. The videos are streamed there and will be available afterwards. Vale, I'm looking forward to this. If you could repaste what you had copied and pasted to the chat before, and if you could verbally let us know one last time where we can follow you and find you at upcoming features.
Yes. I'll just say what I put in the chat. Note that you can hear more of my opera on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And you can find the link to that on my Linktree. Linktree/Vale Larkin or Instagram at Vale Larkin. And I cannot accept donations because I am disabled and we're not allowed to earn money. So I request that anybody who would like to support me, please support sisterspgh.org. They're a Black trans-led organization that works with the homeless and housing insecure trans community here in Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you, Vale. Yes, Vale put the donation link in the chat, all their Linktree and Instagram, and the FUMFA feature. Thank you, Vale, for supporting that organization and for featuring here at BWOMS, and keep coming back to support us. Thank you so much. All right, coming up next, we have Unmesh. On deck is would have been Mike Sindler. If he shows up in Zoom, we will definitely re-add him to the list. So we will have on deck Generalissimo. But first up, Unmesh. I know I saw you. Yes, you are. And you unmuted yourself, Unmesh. Mic check, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Ron. Hello, Ron. Hello, Richie. How are you?
Oh my God. And he is... Unmesh is zooming in from somewhere on top of the world. I don't know. He always travel. Unmesh, actually, besides being poet, he is a little bit a travel blogger because I do see all the places where you travel and go to, and you always post, photos. And I actually remember your YouTube channel as well, where you posted some videos, I believe, from Africa and other countries. I could be wrong, but I believe so. So Unmesh, I'm so glad you're. It's so funny. I just guest hosted Finn Capillary last week, and I introduced there as well, So Unmesh, he is from India. He hosts his own open mic, which he's gonna let us know about it. He is always such an inspiration, always in a cheerful mood, always makes us happy, always makes us think with his poetry. Unmesh, I can't wait what you brought here. Welcome back to BWOMS on Monday evenings. In your case, it's Tuesday morning. Thank you for waking up to be with us. Unmesh, let everyone know where we can find you, and then go ahead. The mic is all yours.
Thanks a lot, Ron, Richie. I am so blessed to be part of this wonderful community. You can follow me on Unmesh Mohitkar, Facebook and Instagram. I have got an open mic. Let's Unmesh Life. It's a wordplay on my name, Unmesh. Every Saturday, 9 p.m. India time, that is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do come there. You will hear a lot of Hindi poetry and poetry in different languages. That will be fun. Thanks a lot. Thank you. It's 10:30, Kemlin. 10:30. I will put all the links in the chat. Excellent. Okay, I will. The peak which you see in the background, I trekked to the top of it this Sunday. This Sunday. So it was fun. It was risky as well. I was scared.
Unmesh, tell us where that peak is. Come on, give us a little bit more
That
information.
peak is near Mumbai or Bombay. It's around 15 kilometers. No, around 35 kilometers from Bombay. From Pune, it's I think around 150 kilometers. So it's a very, very steep peak. It's like a wall. So you have to use all the harness and everything to climb up. Then you have to rappel. There are a lot of pole crossing as well. So I will put on the videos on the Facebook and Instagram so you can watch it. So that is also one of my hobby, all for poetry. Okay, here we go. They punch him to ground. They punch him to ground, flattened dead. Flattened dead, leave him to rise from the ashes. Leave him to rise from the ashes. That was the first one. I'm doing few very short ones. They punch him to near death. They punch him to near death. Finally, he realizes he was alive. Finally, he realizes he was alive. Then this is the third one. Visitor left his house. Visitor left his house, took away home with him, leaving homeless owner stranded. Leaving homeless owner stranded. Then let's go to the last one. This is also a short one. Sitting on my sofa, early morning, I can see the fog engulfing the trees outside. Trees in no mood to wake up. Birds trying to wake them up by making noises. But they are so lazy. A creative bird might be a poet bird, make some loud noises. The poet is ignored. The mountains are not seen at all, covered by the blanket of fog. Winter is slowly spreading its wings. Officially, it has arrived. Sun is trying to throw his rays. Rays are lazy, weary, sleeps in the middle of the journey. Few sun rays reach earth. Few still sleeping. The lovers are sleeping, touching the warm bodies, hoping the morning never comes. Hoping the morning never converts into a full-blown day. Poets are awake as the soft sunlight kisses the earth. Earth giving a welcome hug to her beloved. Poets are awake. We watch it all, we live it all, we tell it all. We tell it all. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
No, thank you, Unmesh. We are thanking you. Okay, everyone, please thank Unmesh. Bravo.
Yes, yes.
Shukriya,
Unmesh.
Unmeshi.
Thank you, Unmesh.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you.
My goodness, poetry from the top of the mountains. Like you better stay there for a few extra minutes and write a poem or record yourself up there. But I know obviously the oxygen and the atmosphere is a little bit harsher than down, on the further on the ground. But what an inspiration, Unmesh. So yes, Unmesh mentioned he does host his own open mics on Saturday mornings in the US, or which is Saturday evening in India. And Umesh, get ready. And I'm going to remind you, in about 2 or 3 weeks, we are changing back to daylight saving time in the United States. A few weeks later, Europe will follow. India does not change to daylight saving time, so we will actually then have to shift. I think it'll be 9:30 instead of 10:30. It's all confusing. As long as we show up to your breakfast, Saturday morning, in your case evening, we will be happy. Umesh, will you be featuring or guest hosting at an event in the next few weeks?
There is a plan to feature on the Mitch, but it's not finalized yet. But I will let you know. Otherwise, I'm fine. Thank you.
The word is out. This is recorded and live streamed. So Mitch, you better they call me Mitch on Friday evenings. We want to see Unmesh there very soon. Thank you, Unmesh. Repost the links from you so everybody can see it in the chat again. And thank you so much for being here, Unmesh. Really appreciate you. All right, Mike Sindler, if you are watching us from on YouTube, don't worry, if you can make it to Zoom, we still have you. We're not going to, strike you from the list. We're very kind here. And by the way, if anyone here in the audience didn't sign up yet to perform, I know Richie and Kit are very nice about it. You can still sign up. The list is not yet closed. We do have the time, so feel free. But up next, we're going to go to Generalissimo and on deck, Robin Schofield. First up, Brian Franco, are you there? I know I saw you. Yes, you are. Your background disappeared, so let me then show. This is you. This is a wonderful book. I bought it. I also featured Brian Franco at Bronx Art and Fun Up together with Rosalind Diaz. He is an amazing poet and food. He also loves food. He loves to write about it and he loves to cook. I had the pleasure when we met at Elizabeth's pool party in Long Island last year. He was there and he cooked wonderful food. I mean, I really enjoyed what you did, So both poet and a chef and everything else in between. And he is also the host at The Word is Right every first and third Monday of the month. I missed it, unfortunately. I was coming back from my sister's house in New Jersey. By the time I made it home, it was too late. I had to take a shower. I had to get ready for the New Regan Poets Cafe. But I always support you, even in spirit. Brian, how are you today? I love that hat. Well, what's the story behind the hat that you're now wearing?
I bought it a couple of weeks ago at Target. It was marked down half off, and it was a nice looking hat. And I thought I should get it, and so I did.
I'm glad you did. It really accentuates.
And every time you miss my open mic, Ron, I mark it down in my book as you missing my open mic, and then I have to cry myself to sleep that night. So.
Oh no, okay. Well, as you also know, on Mondays I host, Richie mentioned that the writing circle groups that I'm in charge of at the New York Public Library. Today they were off, but then Murphy's Law, something else happened and I was literally in transit. So I'm going to come and I'm trying
you're spending time with your sister is important to you. And I don't want you to try to hook Zoom up on your phone while you're driving. That would be dangerous. So let's.
No, I'm not driving. See, I don't have a driver license, so I'm sorry. I have to say that. So I'm in the train. So next time,
on the train.
I have to.
That would be interesting. You could read poetry on the train in front of everybody and see what happens. I don't know if that would go over for a lot of the train people, right?
We'll do that next time. Brian, I'm so happy you're here. Let's hear what you brought. The mic is all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just going to read 3 older pieces. The first is called The Art of the Take, or the Meaning of Live. Gimme, gimme, gimme money. Pay my rent, but don't keep me. Feed me, but don't take my dignity. Give me the good life. To me, a good life is a life, not spent alone. Gimme, gimme, gimme honey, the royal jelly from a hive of bees, sticky and sweet, melting into my morning tea. Its flavor taking my taste buds to ecstasy. Gimme, gimme, gimme sugar. When it's white, it's sweet, but when it's brown, it's got all the stuff the white ain't got. Then there's sugar that's almost black, so hard it must be heated to soften it, to use it. Even though it's a little bitter, there's always some hidden sweetness in everything that's bitter. Gimme, gimme, gimme rice. It can be sticky, it can be fluffy, so many colors. White is nice, but it's a bit of a letdown when you taste brown, so hearty and earthy. Then there's red, so seductively savory, and black rice, a superfood once reserved for royalty. It turns everything in the pot purple, like squid ink paints everything black. No matter where in the world you go, you will find a different rice. Rice is the grain of life. We can survive on rice alone. It nurtures our blood, brains, and bones. So gimme, gimme, gimme all I want, all I need. Gimme money, gimme honey, gimme sugar, gimme rice, gimme life, gimme love, gimme breath, gimme air, gimme water, gimme the world. When someone says gimme, they really say, let me take from you. And if you give a little every time you take, those you take from won't eat your cake. After all, life is basically give and take, and all human beings take and give. What if instead of gimme, you said, let me give? You might discover the meaning of to give is what it really means to live. Next poem is in my book. It's called What's in the Rear View Belongs in the Past. Do you live as if you are driving in an infinite traffic jam surrounded by ghosts? As if you are a Ford Pinto that will explode if hit from behind, and your past is a garbage truck manned by a drunk driver. You look in the rear view, history is aggressively tailgating you, honking loudly. You switch lanes to let it pass, but it decides to hang to your left to flip you off. The odors of every lesson you've learned and every mistake you've made waft their way into your psyche. You are aware this is a ghost garbage truck. You pull forward, switch lanes directly in front of it, and stop short. Its ghostly phantasma passes through your Pinto and dissipates into another universe. Your psyche decides you are no longer a Pinto, but a crosstown local bus that may not always be on time, but get you where you need to go in a few places you never expected. I'm going to do one more little love poem called I So Badly Wish to Exist in Your Ink. I like watching you from afar when you write your poetry. When I hear your pen scratch against paper as I watch from the other room. When your emotions are transformed into ink. I hope the thoughts that are encompassed in the ink are about me, about how I like to lay my head on your pillow when you wake and rise before me, how those moments you are absent from our bed leads me to your scent, how I taste your tangerine lip balm whenever you enter a room, how my mirror is more honest when you look me in the eyes, how I am no longer afraid to cry in front of others, how knowing you exist in my life tells my tears it's okay to fall. How the sound of your voice lets me know hugs still exist. I hope the thoughts that become your poetry are laced with the love I feel for you, the love you infuse into my heart with your love. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wow, indeed. Everyone, feel free to unmute yourself. Give a big round of applause to
Yeah, Mr. Franco.
Generalissimo, that was awesome.
Wow, Brian. Gimme, gimme, gimme. That reminds you, you and I are the same age. That was an ABBA song from the 70s or 80s. I believe so, right? Gimme, 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 right? Am I right? Or
I'm not sure. It could have been. I don't know. You know, it's also just, we're always gimme, gimme, gimme. I am all the time too, you know.
Well, I liked what you did with this because you are right. You know, like it's not just about gimme, 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 but how about we give to others, you know? So I love that twist and how you turn that around, you know? So that was very great.
I can't say that I practice what I preach in my poetry all the time, but, you know, we can try.
Hey, okay, you can try. And now you said it on the recorded live stream here, so now going forward, do your best to practice what you preach. I
Yeah,
know, I'm just as
that's okay. You know, I can say one thing is that I am the second best dishwasher in the world.
He's referring to, while I do not cook, at least when we were at Elizabeth's parents' house, at least I washed the dishes, and you helped me too, because, and the parents told us, don't. I'm like, but we can't just come here and eat and
This is,
party and not do anything,
yeah,
right?
my father used to always tell me when you go to someone's house for dinner, always offer to help do the dishes.
I
And
like
it
that.
doesn't take that much extra thing, and they might appreciate it, even if
I
they
love
say they don't. Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone, and have a
Thank
nice.
Yes, thank you. So everyone, you can buy Brian Franco's book. You can support him at The Word is Right. And Brian, I know you always have features coming up. Like oh, look, Richie bought his book as well. Yes, It's like, I love the contrast, the yellow and the red. Generalissimo, is there, oh, Richie, did he write you a nice long note on the front? Because I'm not going to show it in camera. Oh, he did. I was like, this is like, I so appreciated of this, Generalissimo. You're great.
Yeah, my next thing I don't think is until the 16th of March, which is kind of like a nice break. Although, sometimes it feels weird to not have one because I've really tried hard to get a lot of these to promote my book, but I've been doing a lot lately, and so yeah, so it's the 16th of March. It's in 1 year in Chicago, and but I have to rearrange everything on my little personal information page to put it in the thing right now anyways, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep that dynamic. A good business tip for all of us who are doing this, for, not just as a hobby, but to actually professionally earn money from our writings. Have like a little notepad, a little Microsoft Word document, and always update it with the, the text of where you're going to be featuring next. And then all you have to do is copy and paste it, put it in the chat, and that's how we'll know. And one of them is your regular every first and third Monday of the month at The Word is Right. Thank you so much, Brian, for being here. It was great featuring with you at FUMFA a week and a half ago. So, that was also great. And yes, keep supporting us and each other. Thank you so much, Brian. And I did forget to show Unmesh. I know he left, but I do have Unmesh. His actually was one of the first books I bought during the pandemic when I met him online, I believe 2 years ago. All right, for everyone, I saw a few people arriving here. You have come to Barbed Wire Open Mic Series every Monday evening online, based in El Paso. Thanks to the beauty of Zoom, we are international. We are zooming in from everywhere in the world. I am not Richie. I am not Kit. These are the organizers, producers, curators, and frequently hosts as well. Today, they have allowed me to be your guest host. I'm so happy to be here with everyone. Thank you, for being here. Up next, we have Robin. On deck is Stacy. But let's get to Robin first. And Richie reminded me in his spreadsheet that Robin is from El Paso, Texas. So you are basically with the BWOMS family in person, right? Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes. And I assume you do go to some of BWOMS in-person events as well?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm Kit's mom.
Are you serious? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I'm finding out things like, wow, you've been keeping that secret from me. I'm sure everyone else, I'm always the last one to find out. I was like, oh my God. Well,
No,
good.
it's no secret.
So hold on. So Kid, he got his poetry and his talents from you then, basically? Or who started writing first and performing
Oh, I
first?
started writing when I was 7, so I beat him by a little while.
Wow. Well, that is great. I always enjoy your poetry. I can't wait what you brought here. Thank you so much for being here, Robin. Let's tell everyone how we can follow you, and then go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Okay, I'm on Facebook under my name, and I also have a couple of pages for my books. This one is called Flow, and it won a little award. I got a sticker and a nice dinner out of it. So that was fun. That was in 2019, pre-pandemic, so we could go to the dinner. And I'm going to read a couple of poems out of Flow. One for the spring and new life, and one a love poem. And then I'm going to read something new, and I have a cover poem. So this one is called Imaginal Cells. Lime and black, the caterpillar goes gooey green, vomit green, moss green, clover green, not the desert bird of paradise, new seed pod green, when sunlight sluices through. Electric green, she has grazed yellow petals, carnadine trumpets, stamens nectar, gobbling root, branch, leaf, stem, seed. She has gauzed over what self shreds she possesses, from which she will reform as nectar-seeking geometry, clear wings, fairy dusted with neon scales. In the desert meadow at 6,000 feet, a March freeze readies the poppy seeds for those becoming butterflies. All right, so that was about the process of transformation. And this one is a love song. It's called Love Song for a Wiseacre. Your eyes are a flock of goats that muddies the spring on Snail Hill, where a shepherd boy, no more than 6, carries a kid across. Your brow is an olive tree that blooms white out of red loam in the spring, and in fall, dark fruit weighs down your silver branches. Your hands are a pair of foxes that track the stray snow goose, wintering over in the bosque on the river by El Camino Real. Your arms are spotted horses that roam the Llano Estacado and graze blue grama in autumn slants on Indian summer days. Your whiskers are corn stalks in the valley where cranes alight by the thousands, and the scarecrow frightens children in a maze. Your hair is a mountain lion that sleeps in a cave by day, while antelope scamper down and the raven watches the end. Your skin is a pile of adobe brick that shelters us from dust devils after the mariachis run off when there's still a song to sing. So that's my lighthearted poem. And now I want to read something kind of new that I've been working on. And it's for my college housemate who dropped dead about 3 weeks ago, unexpectedly. It's called Elegy for Heidi Johnson. Our past is a mad meadow, rife with purple asters and grasshoppers. Okay, I was the mad one, the young romantic poet. You, the classic scholar, languages budding inside you like the wildflowers you admired for their persistence. You could speak French without having studied it. All you needed was a glass of real champagne. I remember how you loved Achilles, your perfect hero, how you were in love with everything you were learning. All those late nights peering into the void, discussing my hero, Hamlet, whom you diagnosed with paralytic rationalism. I can still see you smiling and strumming your harp in your sun-filled room at the house on Nueces Street. Your dog, Skilla, half Irish setter, willful and beautiful. My memories are a clear stream that we cross together. Your being in love was a rugged thunderstorm not many men could handle, so you married a Greek god with his chiseled good looks. But of course it didn't last, sad kiss of the past, disappearing like sunset on the lake. You went on to master computer languages. Good for making money, you said. And then came the PhD in linguistics, your calling to study and archive the native languages of the Americas. Their words revealed themselves to you, unfurling like colorful calentadores. You were made for the contemplative life, writing your historical mysteries, meticulously researched. We had discussed pseudonyms for these eventualities, Anna Castle for you and Amanda LaGrange for me. But I didn't write the romances, only poetry. You know, it's best for grief, like a well-worn glove, fitting and warm, enveloping. And now you're gone in the middle of your mystery, words unwritten. They might as well be lost in a junkyard, for no one can recover them. Remember, if you're out there somewhere, somehow, how we discussed amor fati, the weird of our destinies, not to be changed, but lived in the eternal return. What meadows do you run through? What wildflowers do you care for now? What new languages are you learning? What stream are you crossing? And I want to read a cover poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins. It's called Spring and Fall to a Young Child. Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove unleaving? Leaves like the things of man, you with your fresh thoughts care for, can you? Ah, as the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder by and by, nor spare a sigh, the worlds of one wood leaf meal lie. And yet you will weep and know why. Now, no matter, child, the name, sorrow's springs are the same, nor mouth had, no nor mind expressed what heart heard of, ghost guessed. It is the blight man was born for. It is Margaret you mourn for. Thank you.
Whoa.
Robin, I had a friend in Liverpool. Well, she was Liverpool born. Her name was Margaret. Gerard Manley Hopkins was a priest in Liverpool.
I know. Yeah.
Jesuit priest, yes.
Yes, when I met Seamus Heaney one time in Ireland, and we went to the graveyard, and he was telling a story about going to Gerard Manley Hopkins' grave, and he asked, "Where's the grave?" and the guy said, "Oh, you mean the convert?"
Yes, yeah, he wasn't Catholic to begin with. That's true.
Right.
Wow.
Excellent.
Thank you, Robin. Also, the previous poem, about your friend, our condolences. You can, revisit the chat. Some kind comments to you. We're very sorry, but I'm so glad you can express your feelings here in this open mic. Also, what I like, another great business, thing, like, how cleverly you read. I have this book out. And by the way, let me read a few poems from my book at the beginning, because that's the way to promote your books, and I think I'm gonna go and get my copy though. So please let everyone know one last time how we can follow you, where we can buy your books, and any other information or any feature you may be coming up at.
Okay, the best thing to do to get my book is to email me about it, and I'll try to get to the post office. Let's see what's coming up for me. The only thing really coming up for me is a Tumble Words workshop on April the 2nd. It's called The Radical Amazement of Roomie. So that'll be fun. And Roomie is a lot of fun. We'll go into his life a little bit, and then we'll read some of his works. And that's on April 2nd at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
That's right. Tumble Words Project every Saturday, every weekly on Saturdays, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and everyone is welcome. If you never attended, go to the Tumble Words Project's Facebook page, message them, and then Kit or Donna will respond with the Zoom link, which is the same each week. So I'm looking forward to that, Rob. And thank you so much for being here and learn something new. You Kit's mother, I'm so amazed, at this, Oh my goodness, now you even have a more special place in my heart, for this. All right. I am not Richie's father. I'm way too old to be his father. I think I could be his grandfather maybe, but I am your guest host, Ron Marc Thomson at BWOMS Monday evening online open mic. We have coming up Stacy on deck, Lee Martinez. But hold on, let me look at my notes. Yes, there was something I wanted to tell you. See, I'm a little bit behind on the chat and everything else, so please apologize. Richie mentioned poetry in motion. I forgot, where we came up with this. Oh yeah, Brian Franco with the train, the poetry on the train. In the New York City subway, I'm from the Bronx, that's where I've been living for the last 27 years, we do actually have a program called Poetry in Motion, where there is poems are displayed in the subway, in the buses, where the advertisements are. Unfortunately, my writers group at the library, we inquired about this, like, hey, how can we submit poems? You have to be a famous poet, like big shot, celebrity poet, so. But I think we need to change that. Richie, you actually got me an idea. Since I now do have my organization, I'm going to see if I can get grants or funding. And because I want the community to have their poetry on bus shelters, in advertisements on the subway. That's the place, to get everyone, to know us outside of the Zoom world. So thank you for that idea. Richie, I'm going to also put you on the spot. Richie has been updating the spreadsheet on the back end, which Kit, Richie, and I have access to with the list, which is very good because you're really keeping me in tow. One thing I'm unclear of, the color legend. You didn't include the color legend because some cells are in red, some cells are in green, and some cells are in yellow. So just out of curiosity, I'm a very nosy person. Richie, what does the coloring mean?
Yo, yeah, it's actually time zones.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's this then. Okay.
So it just helps me visualize like who's on the east coast. So like it's red, like when I get them on a little, like just to kind of focus on them. Whereas like West Coast, it's a little late, a little earlier for them. So it's green, chill, and then the Mountain Time Zone is just I don't use color anyway. All that stuff. Now you know.
Good. Now I know. Now I'm smarter. So any future guest host deal, FYI, this is what the color lecturing is. So thank you. And by the way, talking about guest hosting, I don't know if guest hosting spots are open for everyone, but if you are interested, you can always talk to Richie and Kid. Trust me, I do host my own programs at Bronx Art and Fun Hub. I do guest host at FinCapital sometimes. It is so refreshing and a good practice to guest host at other organizations, platforms, because it really helps you, to get over that shyness, to get over, any nervousness. Robin mentioned that she'll guest host one of the workshops that she's going to be teaching at. I know Kit had a workshop there at Tumblewords Project last week, anti-Valentine's poetry. He is so against Valentine. We're going to have to get you into Valentine's. Next year when I attended, I'm going to bring you so many love poems. You're like, stop it, Ron, I can't take it anymore. I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, back to the list. You didn't come here to listen to me. You came here to listen to all these fine poets and performers and musicians. And hold on, we haven't heard any music yet, unless I'm already, losing my memory. But if there's any musician amongst you, please, it's okay. It's not just poetry here, it's stories and music as well. And the list is dynamic. We still have spots available. I saw that Richie added a few people in the spreadsheet. So that's like magic, seeing Google Documents updated like in the background, so it's always amazing. All right, so coming up next, Stacy Dyson on deck, Lee Martinez Soto. Stacy, I'm so happy to introduce you. You're always a pleasure to listen to you. Your poems are so profound, so important, to listen listen to. I know you have a few books. I definitely will have to buy a book. You feature at different platforms. Stacy is from San Diego. Wow, all the way from the West Coast. Stacy, how are you today?
It has been a long day, but I really wanted to see you guys.
I'm glad you made it here. I'm glad you're ending the day at BWOMS, unless you have another, event that you're going to, but I'm glad you made this a stop here.
The only event I have is scrambling some eggs and going to bed. That's,
Oh,
that's
okay.
as deep
Well,
as it gets.
I love it. Before we do this, could you let everyone know where we can find you? I know you have a few books. I'm sure you have them right next to you, so you're gonna hold them up. If not, let us know where we can buy them, and then the mic is all yours. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is one of the books. The other is, I don't know where it is right now, but this is Lovely in Suffering. And the companion book to that is Follow Me on This. You can find those anywhere books are sold. If you want an autographed copy, you can hit me up on my website and I'll put that in the chat after I get finished. You can find me on Facebook under Stacy Artist Dyson, and you can find me on Instagram under Saint Rains. And so the piece tonight is a little bit older, but needed to be done, so we're going to do it. A butterfly trembled along the edge of my finger. I will get in trouble for this poem because so many people are so invested in me bearing the standard of my culture and gender, including me. Convinced that my life is not meant to be separate, that my strength, my resolutions are half of what holds the world together, the way and why of how I love is the other half. A Cassandra birthed by perseverance, lyricism, attitude, and the lyricism of a million different promises. I do not have the luxury of saying no thank you. And if the battle sounds ceaseless and unending, that's because it is. But sometimes I have to breathe just for me, sing just for me, and ignore the fire news from all my sister girls' battlefields. Be beautiful, be intelligent just for me. And today, a butterfly landed and trembled along the edge of my finger, and the world did not fall down, and the world did not fall down, and the world did not fall down. I know, I know, I know. I should be fighting, praying, working. I understand what I owe my life as a Black woman. I understand the call in my blood for gospel-stained windows and pews washed in sunlight and salvation. I know I owe my career, my life to the women who knelt in those pews or ones like them after a day of being on their knees, feeding their children, patting their backs, thighs, and shoulders so that that sack of groceries did not cut and chafe, so that that child has one soft place to lay down her head, so that they could relieve the ache of holding up the sky and half the world every now and again. Lord, I know there is a debt to be honored. I know. I know. But today, a butterfly trembled along the edge of my finger, and I took a breath, and the world did not fall down, and the world did not fall down, and the world did not fall down. I should be on my knees, praying till angels' wings are broken from the exhaustion of carrying my messages. I should be marching, marching, marching in a tide of righteousness against people who will not acknowledge the rights of others or think they own other folks' decisions. I should be on stages shouting my truth, singing my hopes, telling stories for the brains and hearts worldwide who are empty, aching, tired, hungry for a chance to speak. And I do, I will, I shall, like every other woman in the world. We do, we will, we shall, but some days, not many. Some days a butterfly shivering color and light and scented of small miracles falls gently out of the sky and explores an entire world in the palm of your hand. And between one stroke and the next, you can hear your song for just a minute, your heart beating for just a minute, your soul warming just enough to help you make it through the day for just 1 minute. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, sister. Breathe, warrior. Breathe, mother, daughter, love. Accept the blessing. Just stop. Let a butterfly tremble along the edge of your finger. The children will be fed, work get done, your love's loved. It will be done because it has always been done. You know this, accept this, stop for just that one moment, breathe for just that one moment, stop, breathe for just that one moment. And the world will not fall down, and the world will not fall down, and the world will not fall down.
Amazing, amazing.
Woo!
Wow. Stacy, was that the end or did you have another one?
No, that's the only one today. I did want to tell folks that got a major project in the wind. You'll be seeing hints and portents about it for the next month. And then on March the 18th, we have an invitational that is featuring 20 of the hottest voices on the circuit because we are debuting Tesoro, which is a woman's international poetry network. So you'll be hearing more about that. Keep an eye out. It is going to be quite something. And then on a smaller scale, Richie, it must be y'all or something in the water because I'll be in El Paso in 2 months to live. So I'll see y'all when I get there.
Hold on, did you say to live? So you're moving there?
I am moving to El Paso, yes.
Wow. Well, then you do need to show up at the BWOMS in person.
Oh, I will be bugging them all the time.
Let me be a little bit committed here. I hope they're not gonna wish, oh, can she please go back to San Diego? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, no, they will appreciate you. Thank you so much, Stacy. And Stacy, verbally, one more time, where do we follow you on social media so we can hear about all these amazing projects that you're working on?
Sure. On Instagram, it's at St. Rains. And on Facebook, it's under Stacy Artist Dyson. And you will find out just about everything you need to know.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. Looking forward to all these projects. Looking forward to seeing you here every Monday. Thanks for being here. Go and get your eggs, but stick around. Listen to us. As much as you still can. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Stacy. All right. That actually also gives me a segue. See, I love putting Richie and Kit on the spot because it kind of deflects from my hosting. Richie, would you mind, Tim? Because I know the online open mic here on Monday evening is just one of the amazing projects that Barbed Wire Open Mic Series is doing. But when I look at your Facebook page, BWOMS, you do actually have quite a few in-person events. So can you tell the audience anything that is coming up at BWOMS, both online and in person, in the next few weeks?
Yo, you really are putting me on the spot here. Prior to the pandemic, I was doing maybe up to like 12 to 15 live open mics a month. It was very busy. This isn't even my main job, but obviously it's one of my main passions. So right now, once things have opened up and have proceeded cautiously, we do have a variety of venues that we do work with each month. To keep it brief, this Thursday we are going to be, we always have a show last Thursday at a local brewery called Old Sheepdog Brewery. It is in central El Paso. It is all ages venue. They have a food truck, local craft beer. They also carry other brews as well as non-alcoholic beverages. It's right across the street from an art gallery, Galeria Lincoln. Those are the homies. And my buddy Domingo has a coffee shop that he runs there called Slow Goblin. So there's a little bit of something there for everyone. I always try and have a feature of some sort as well. So my friend Jay, his name is Rebel Agnostic. He's a hip hop dude. We go way back in terms of performing a lot of shows over the years. So that's Thursday. If you know Paso, go check it out. Otherwise, if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, we always post flyers. Mona Bar is downtown El Paso. We also have Craft Rhythm and Brews, another brewery. And also, I'd love to work with other venues, coffee shops as well in the future. I am like limiting my live shows still just because of COVID, just to take it easy. But we also do stuff around the community when we can. Anyway, let's get back to the mic. Thank you so much, Ron. Let's go and get back to it.
No, you're amazing. I love it. I love it. And it's interesting to also hear that, because when I founded my organization, Bronx Art and Fun Hub, shameless plug, I decided not to have an actual gallery or venue because the rents in the Bronx and New York City are just too expensive. So I do similar to what BWOMS did, and I didn't realize that you contract with other venues where you can bring your programming to. And I'm right now I'm online. I used to be in person before the pandemic, went all the way online, but I'm gonna go back to like a little hybrid, in person as well. So I'm glad to see that you're really supporting your local artist community, in El Paso. So who would have known? Texas are usually Austin, Dallas, but I had no idea El Paso is like its own little gem, down there. So I'm looking forward to visit. Thank you so much. And Kit did put in the chat some of the venues, and February 24th, Old Sheepdog Brewery. So that's wonderful. All right, back to the open mic. Lee Martinez Soto is next. On deck is Finn Bell. Lee Martinez Soto, or as they are known in the book world, Lee MS. Which I love this, like why not, Lee MS. Para los Logos. And I have to say, Lee, yep, and Richie is also showing the book. See, I'm gonna put other people to the spot. Look at Richie, Kit, and I are the only ones holding up the book. Where everyone else? Come on, buy Lee's book. Buy Lee's book. They come here every Monday, to promote it. I also love the cover image. It's by Jane Bellur, and I just love it. Like the message behind that. It's just amazing. Lee, I'm so glad you're here. Lee, tell everyone where we can find you. How are you doing today? And then let's hear from you. The mic is all yours.
Thank you. You can find me wallowing in my house right now because I'm sick and sad. So yay. I'll be reading one from the book today. I have a bit over here. And first in Spanish, then in English. This is called Ayer. Ayer fue uno de esos días en los que me aterra salir. Ayer pasé mis horas encerrado tras paredes y enclaustrado tras mi piel. Ayer fue uno de esos días en los que pensar solo sirve para provocar el llanto. Uno de esos días en los que ya no hay ganas de nada, pero hay remordimiento para todo y por todo. Ayer fue uno de esos días, igual que ayer, igual que ayer, igual que ayer. Y no estaría mal si no fuera que se me va la vida entre la apatía, entre la ansiedad y esta falta de ganas, de esta falta de querer, de esta falta de soñar. Se me va la vida con todos estos días como el de ayer. Ayer fue uno de esos días, igual que ayer, igual que ayer, igual que ayer. Ayer fue uno de esos días, igual que hoy. Yesterday was one of those days in which of going out I am afraid. Yesterday I spent my hours locked behind walls and concealing myself behind my skin. Yesterday was one of those days in which thoughts brought out tears, one of those days without the will for anything but guilt for everything. Yesterday was one of those days like the day before, like the day before, like the day before. And it wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't losing my life to apathy, to anxiety and that lack of will, that lack of wanting, lack of dreaming. My life slips away with days like yesterday, with days like the day before. Yesterday was one of those days, like the day before, like the day before, like the day before. Yesterday was one of those days, like it is today. That was one. Here we go. This other one is new-ish. It was written in one of the Tumble words, I think I can't remember, honestly. This is called Childhood Lessons. Trigger warning, content warning for trauma and abuse. My dad only hit me once in my entire life. I used to say this as if it was the pinnacle of what being a good father looked like compared to the other parents I knew, compared to my own mother. That one time, justified, and a thing to feel some form of twisted pride about. Oh, my dad loved me. He only ever hit me once with a belt on Christmas Eve because I wouldn't share a gift. That this one memory so clearly ingrained in my being should speak volumes of the trauma, especially because I don't remember the beating. Brown leather belt coming off, the doors to my grandparents' room closing, locking, and then back to the living room like nothing happened. Did they hear me crying, screaming on the room next door where everyone gathered? I held this one memory as proof my dad loved me for so long, because when you associate love with abuse, the less they hurt you, the more they love you, right? And then this last one, here we go. This is like brand new. I wrote it like 10 minutes ago and it might be shit, but I don't care. I'm reading it. No title. I can hear the buzzing coming from inside, a static hum reverberating through my bones, shake the marrow, shake my core, let the dendrites reach across the corpus fibers before the cut, before the shut down. I'm gone. What can fix this? What will fix me? And that's it.
Oh, but okay, everyone, please unmute yourself. Give a big round of applause.
Yeah, Lee.
I love you so much, Lee. Love you.
Wonderful.
Always good to hear, old and new. It doesn't matter. It's always very profound. I love your green hair. You know, this is just, you know, you know what? I'm gonna have to talk to you offline because I wanted to like try my hair, little blue, little yellow, just other things because it's, you know, why not? You know, like colors are beautiful. We're all beautiful, and so what if we look different? You know, so you know, it's okay. By the way, Lee, I did want to mention because you know I think it was your first or second poem, or you also mentioned before you started that you felt a little sad. Someone pointed out at BWOMS here like a week or 2 weeks ago, your ghost hopping up and down in your screen has a little sad face on it though. Maybe you can turn it into a frown because as you can see, I have my smiley pillows here. This one is a little smiling. I actually banished one of my smiley pillows. This one is frowning. And I'm like, you know what? At BWOMS, while I'm guest hosting, this smiley is not to be allowed to here. But you know, yes, we always have sad things, but you know, we triumph by, you know, by uplifting ourselves, by being here, and you know, and I know you're very strong. You know, you do the best you can. So I'm glad you're here. Tell everyone again how they can follow you, where they can buy your book. I think I bought your book on Amazon, but people can also get it directly from you. Is there one way that you prefer, or is it okay either way?
It's okay either way. It's pretty much up to you. If you don't want to support Amazon, I do have copies of my book that I can sign and send over to you as well. And you can follow me. You have my little somewhere here, I think here, yeah, here. You have my information for my Instagram, which is the best place to reach me at. And I'll share my links over here. Also hoping to get published for a second book, so crossing my fingers. But yeah.
Our fingers. Thank you so much. Yes. I didn't even, you know what, it's so funny. I didn't even realize that it was right at the bottom there, though, you know, so that is so cool. Cool technology. Thank you so much, Lee, for being here. I really appreciate you. All right, coming up next, Finn Bell on deck, a Paddy. But let's go to Finn Bell first. I can tell you so many things about Finn Bell. She's been a very good friend. She and I met at the New Regan Poets Cafe online. And then I asked her, I really enjoyed her poetry. Some of her poetry was so profound, I didn't understand it. Like, at first I had to listen to it over and over again. And then I asked her to feature at one of my Bronx Art and Fun Hub events. And she told me this, a few months later. You remember this, she's like, I was so amazed. And I'm like, of course I would ask, why not? You were so great, and since then, I have guest hosted several times at Fin Capillary, which is the organization that she founded and runs. She was the second place I guest hosted. The first place was in New York City. Besides my poetry and playwriting life, I'm an IT technician in my real life, and some of you know me. I assist and produce some of the events at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, including karaoke night, which we're bringing to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, both on stage and hybrid. And it's thanks to Finn Bell, because she started karaoke nights at Fin Capillary. Paul Concasso hosted those at Fin Capillary, and he is now bringing it live Saturday, March 5th. But yeah, Fin Capillary is, besides the word is right, it's like the other platform where I do host, once every 2 months, every 3 months. I just guest hosted last week. Spread kindness was the theme. It's always a pleasure with you. You're very easygoing, very easy, to produce and to do. I do have a book as well, Trisha, Some Days Here. I bought that from here. I know she has a few extra copies, so you can let us know where we can find it. And that's what I also wanted to say. In Richie's and Kit's spreadsheet, you are listed as zooming in from the Bay Area, which I think you must have entered in the Google form. Now, we have a Bay Area here in New York City, the New York/Newark Bay, but that's not the Bay Area. You are from the San Francisco/ North California, I don't know, Central California Bay Area. Finn Bell, welcome back to BWOMS. Tell everyone where we can find you, what exciting upcoming events you have coming up at Fin Capillary. You have a karaoke night tomorrow, and then go ahead, the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you for that glowing introduction, Ron. I am at Linktree. I'm Finn Bell and on Linktree. And yes, tomorrow my Fincabulary is having its Loose Lips Sync Karaoke Ships karaoke night, special guest hosted by Terry Rose Jertson, and she chose a wonderful theme. It's going to be British invasion. I like her little smiley. So I have a whole bunch of old shit that you've all heard that I'm just going to pull up and read. So yeah, here he goes. I will readily admit that when a phrase begins with the word original, the first word I think of following it is not inspiration, but sin. Perhaps 8 years of Catholic school really does that to you, makes you think of just how much wrong you've committed and how much farther from salvation you have situated yourself, and how much penance you now owe the big guy to assure that St. Peter admits you beyond those pearly gates. Or perhaps what I'm doing is completing the compound word unconsciously, like reflex in my mind. Original and sin to me are a bonded pair, kind of just like rum and coke. Think about it. What would one be without the other? Honestly, I think either drunk or diabetic, and the hamster wheel gamut that runs in between. I continue that line of thought, concentrating as if down on my knees upon the hard, narrow wood slat within the confession box, or as if I was meditating very piously on the transgressions I have committed, that I began reciting easily inside my head like litany. The ripple effect of the devil, convincing the serpent, and the serpent seducing Eve, and Eve enticing Adam, and how, deplete and satiated, but also ashamed and buck naked, all parties were at the end. I may stop to retrace my steps back at some point to determine my thought's origin, but inevitably I become sidetracked and no longer care about where I achieve the connection, because daydreaming is infinitely more delicious in its succulent rapture, and I would rather begin to think of the cunning serpent as Carol's white rabbit, making our mother, Eve, into Alice. But no, I am not satisfied with this answer, and I dig even deeper. And I find Eve is really the rabbit. I find Eve is not the instigator, but the inception. I find that Eve is a blessed event, the sainted bunny, leading us all down the silk walls of her rabbit hole. And here we realize as we tumble among prayers and penance that the rabbit was also dear Alice all along, and was always as mad as the hare, the hatter, his raven and writing desk alike, though still not quite the Cheshire cat, lip curled thick with all the answers, and certainly not the enlightened caterpillar, wise and all-knowing among their every questionable mushroom. The queen, complacent in her red, red glory, is decidedly not Alice, not yet at least. Not quite, but almost. I implore you, walk down the bramble patch with me on this. Is it blasphemy to place the queen right back in the center of her Garden of Eden? Is it revolution to recast her, reveal her, not revile her? Is it conceit to rinse clean the propaganda and tell her story from the beginning? For it is the beginning when her mouth first proclaimed, "Let there be light." You feel you have heard it somewhere else from a prophet receiving and echoing scripture, and I proclaim it once more to you, this mind-bending truth now. And it lingers when it's done. You believe God is a woman. I guess that really makes her a goddess, and pause and breathe and absorb the sacred word. How could she not be? Can you recall in that timeline when she so casually informed us that, why, sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast, and then goes on and outdoes herself by +1 in dominion over the earth, in every sea, flora, fauna, and still have time to kick back her heels in the pool and down a mimosa and look that damn good. I, Eve 1, percolating concept along with morning coffee, rabbit 2, through the tangle of the Warrens we lead you, Red Queen 3. I just flipped over the eggs over medium, set the table 4 and 5, inspiration, original, and pulpy. You know, I think I'll have 6 sizzling thoughts before bacon jumps the pan, flesh, not borrowed rib, fully cooked. And then I'm going to end with, I don't know why that woke me up all of a sudden. I was getting sleepy. I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to cover one of Neruda's love sonnets. So it's going to be Love Sonnet 60. Yeah, 60. Move the page. Okay. Those who wanted to wound me wounded you, and the dose of secret poison meant for me. Like a net passes through my work, but leaves its smear of rust and sleeplessness on you. I don't want the hate that sabotaged me, love, to shadow your forehead's flowering moon. I don't want some stupid random rancor to drop its crown of knives onto your dreams. Bitter footsteps follow me. A hideous grimace mocks my smile. Envy spits a curse, guffaws, gnashes its teeth where I sing. And that, love, is the shadow life has given me, an empty suit of clothes that chase me, limping like a scarecrow with a bloody grin. Thank you.
Yeah, Finn.
Yes.
Wow, those were
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
Finn.
Awesome.
my goodness.
Fantastic, dear heart.
Yes, just amazing. So beautiful. Wow, so profound. Ooh, Finn, amazing. Finn, by the way, in the spreadsheet, your time zone is green, and I couldn't think of a better color than green. You know, in the raster spreadsheet for BWOMS tonight on the West Coast, you know, green is just like so peaceful, nature, mother nature, you know. Finn, while you were reading, I reposted your links, your link tree, and your Fincapulary Eventbrite. Besides karaoke night tomorrow, you have next month on Thursday, Women's History Month, and Diane Ward is guest hosting, which I'm looking forward to. Diane Ward also runs the Ekphrastic Poetry and Prose at Bronx Art and Fun Hub. Finn, could you remind everyone one more time how we can follow you verbally and what upcoming? Can you tell us about the upcoming themes at Fincapulary? Thursday night open mic.
Yes, this upcoming Thursday, is going to be hosted by Diane Ward, and the title of it is "The Now is Female," celebrating National Women's History Month. And you put me on the spot because I can't remember the rest of my themes for the month, but I do have a full roster of themes for.
No, that's okay.
You just have to look for them on vocabulary.eventbrite.com. On Eventbrite.
You go there, you will see Color Sounding is one of them coming up, you know, and Nick P, I forgot about that. I think I already signed up. March 10th,
Yes.
Poetry Games, Emotivate, right?
Motivate.
Yes. And Thomas Corner recently started hosting his monthly open mics under your platform every second Wednesday of the month. L Hangout Con Thomas. I know it's probably not pronounced that way, but I think I got the spirit of it, right? So, Ben Bell, put it in the chat again. Thank you for being here. You know, it's just amazing. All right, let's move on. Patty. Oh, let me go to the spreadsheet. Patty is from another El Paso. So we are going back to the, I could guess the home base, you know. So, Patty, are you there? Yes, you are. Okay, yes, I remember you. I've seen you here before. Patty, I'm going to put you on the spot. How big is El Paso? How many, what's the population? Is it 1 million, close to 1 million, or like 100,000?
I live in a box and there's only one person in it.
What? One person or no? Okay, Patty, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad, you know, we see you here at BWOMS so many times. Patty, let everyone know where we can find you. If not in El Paso, where we can find you online, and then the floor's all yours. Go ahead and let's see what you brought.
Okay, I'm just gonna go straight in. Stand up straight, they say. Stand up straight while the curve of my spine gnaws at the tissue of my skin. Body trembling and bleeding to come undone at the joints of my sockets, all the while not uttering one single word. Do you even see the chaos of the waves of the ocean overhead haven't stirred? Do you know silence while never being heard? Do you know pain without ever being dealt a blow? Don't speak, they say. Don't speak of the demons that demand the beginning of each and every thought. Say the day is just fine without ever feeling the reasons why the clouds begin to roll in. Bite your feelings deep within your tongue until the bleeding ceases, but the flow hasn't quite stopped. Hush. And even then, you said a bit too much yet again. Smile, they say. Don't let the lines in your face indent themselves long enough to tell them why. Why you stand on your arms to display an image unlike the truth. Why you hide half-chipped glasses and broken mugs behind the perfect set of china. Why the lines of your clothes never seem to crease when the bend of your legs bring you to the ground beneath. Don't come undone, they say. They won't accept you as you are. And done.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, everybody, please unmute yourself.
Yes, Patty.
Been a minute since I last heard you. So good. So good.
But very important. Wow, Patty, you sure you have another one maybe for us? No? Okay, well then, hey, that's makes it even more special. Patty, can we find you somewhere online or follow you?
Oh, yeah, on the clicks. Patty's _poetic_life.
Love it. Please put that in the chat so we can copy and paste that. Thank you for being here, Patty. Amazing.
Do we have to use a thumbs up emoji too?
Yeah.
I was being sarcastic. I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Thumbs up. Yes. Thank you, Nico. All right, up next, the urban cowboy poet on deck, Terry Rose Strutzer. Now, I love, since I'm the guest host, I see a little bit what's going on the backstage. So looking at the roster spreadsheet list, it shows on the Google form where everybody signed up for this open mic, there was a field, where are you zooming from? Now, the urban cowboy poet put San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato, Mexico. I didn't know you were. Are you really there right now? Is that where you're zooming in from, or?
Oh, see, I don't do Ohio in February.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. Last year with the pandemic, I was going crazy. Every winter, I get the heck out of there and go someplace warm. I was in Peru and Ecuador and Costa Rica. I've been here, but this is my fourth time here, San Miguel. I love it. Central time zone. I don't know what color that is.
It's yellow, so I think. Are you at the same time? It's now in El Paso. It would be 10:30 p.m.
No, they're mountain time. I'm an hour later than that. I'm in Chicago.
Central.
Yeah, Central.
Okay, interesting.
That's why it's yellow.
Ciudad Mexico, Chicago, all that.
Wow. Look at you. Yeah, I didn't, but that's amazing that you're there. Wonderful, wonderful, And urban cowboy
every winter you're going to find me someplace warm, not Ohio.
But isn't
Every
it also
February.
amazing that no matter where we are, we can now take our laptops, our phones with us, connect to the Wi-Fi, and still zoom in. Like, every vacation that I go to now, I always take my, my laptop with me. It's like a working vacation, so it doesn't matter. There is no more excuse. Oh, I cannot zoom in next Monday. I'm out of town. That's no excuse anymore. Look at Urban Cowboy Poet. He is here zooming in from Mexico. Let us know where we can find you, and or go ahead and let's hear what you brought. Go ahead.
Well, Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not as active as all these other poets on Zoom. I don't do a feature every other week like Generalissimo. I did one feature though on Word is Right, January 29th. It was fun. The audience unmuted and laughed. My favorite sound in the world. So please go back and look at it. I'll put the direct link for that in the chat. It was fun. In reference to your misreading of my learn something old learn something old every day. Welcome to my legendary where you learn something odd every day. And I'll do fire diving. On a hot day in the summer, Charlie did what he loved most. He went scuba diving off the California coast. No better way to keep cool than exploring in the water. What Charlie didn't know was that his day would get much hotter. As he was hunting clams and stuff and flippering around, from above the surf he heard a whoopa whoopa sound. Charlie got to wondering just what that could be, and a round metallic vessel starts submerging in the sea. He felt himself being pulled aboard by some powerful suction. What the heck was going on? Alien abduction? Was Charlie being hijacked to some aqueous moon of Jupiter by flippered beings who think that he's just like them, only stupider? No, well, Charlie was out there swimming around and playing scuba games. 100 square miles of forest land was going up in flames. The U.S. Forest Service had done set its plan in motion. They sent a fleet of aircraft to scoop water from the ocean. It weren't a flying saucer, just a Forest Service chopper, carrying seawater, fishes, crabs, and Charlie in its hopper. 1 minute Charlie's in the sea, then in the wild blue yonder. Next thing he knows, he's fighting fires. He's become a first responder. When the pilot dumped his bucket on the Apache aimed to soak, Charlie landed in the branches of a blackened red oak. He dived equipped with tank and mask, flippers, and wetsuit, but he forgot to bring along his fireproof parachute. Later, when the Rangers surveyed dam as they could see, they spied a curious, crispy critter hanging in a tree. Is that a bear way up there? One ranger had to ask. Not unless a bear would wear two flippers and a mask. California firemen's wives were so proud of their spouses who fought to save the pot farms and the $1 million houses. If you'd asked old Charlie's wife, she'd have said the chance was zero that her scuba diving hubby would turn out to be a hero. When they ID'd Charlie, his wife cried, but her head couldn't be held higher. He was credited with extinguishing 2 square yards of fire. Hates a bitch when a man goes diving looking for adventures and winds up burnt so bad he must be ID'd by his dentures. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you, Urban Cowboy. You're the best.
I'm going to do a short one where I actually debunk an urban myth. Way up north, the lemmings march undauntedly to the sea, although the Arctic Ocean is as cold can be. They run in packs of millions as if they're stupefied. Their life's purpose seems to be commit mass suicide. We know this for a fact because we were told by old Walt Disney. He's a nature filmmaker who was always truthful, isn't he? In the making of his movie, biologists were ignored. The Lemming documentary won an Academy Award. What if the filmers flung the little critters off a turntable? Folks the whole world over have come to believe this fable. Scenes of lemming corpses floating in the ocean cause scholars and reporters to perpetuate this notion. What if the little critters have a real strong swimming stroke? The word lemming has become a self-destruction joke. Don't know about Disney folks, but I'll sleep fine when I get home. There weren't no cute little animals harmed in the writing of this poem. Thank you. I got a minute or two left. Ron, you said you didn't have any music and you wanted music tonight. Can I give you a little music?
Of course. Oh my God. Yes, please.
Let's get back to bare necessities. Thank you.
Yeah. Tip your hat for Urban Cowboy Poet. Yes.
Yes, Urban Cowboy Poet.
I'll put the link to my feature. And like I said, I only done one online feature. So I'll put the direct link, watch it, you'll have fun. Thank you.
I did watch it. I couldn't watch it live because I was working
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
but I watched the following day on Facebook, and of course the live stream is just like with BWOMS, it's preserved, it's video. So yes, please listen to his urban feature. I'm gonna add it, not just a regular feature, but an urban feature. And by the way, when you said learn something odd instead of old every day, your brand should be with UCP. You learn something urban and legendary every day. So that's your new brand. And by the way, Urban Cowboy, for me, for dyslexic people like me, I always get confused. Is it UCP or UPC? So I'm glad you put your full Urban Cowboy Poet.
UCP. It's not Urban Cowboy. I'm not a cowboy poet. It's all three. Urban Cowboy Poet.
I love it. And a member of
Love you, Urban Cowboy.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much.
Yes.
If anybody else wants to feature, If anybody else wants to feature me, I'm ready.
You know what? I didn't even ask you to do that. I want to feature you at a music showcase at my Bronx Art and Fun Hub. Shameless plug, you know. So I'm gonna reach out to you offline via your email. I got your email from a previous thing. 'Cause, yeah,
Urban Cowboy Poet at Gmail.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay.
Please, anyone else who
Thank you.
wants to have Urban Cowboy Poet, even when he is in Mexico, he's still available. Thank you so much for supporting us here on Cowboy. Appreciate
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
De nada, I think so. That's the right way. And talking about supporters, I've been going a little through the chat as much as I can. Fishnet Poet has arrived, aka Poet Con. I know she was here earlier today. I just want to give you a special shout out because she posted a beautiful Instagram post earlier today informing her or followers that I'm the guest host today. You know, what you wrote about me, Fishnet Poet, was so sweet. So you know, when I was on the train, I was coming back to to New York City, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh, nice of you. So I'm glad I'm getting a chance to thank you, Fishnet Poet. That was so sweet of you. Yes. And Fishnet Poet, she also has been she's been a frequent guest host here, and I learn from you. I learn from Nick. You know, it's always amazing, you know, what you guys do here. And I know when I come to El Paso, I'm gonna, you know, visit you. Hold on, you are where Marissa lives, or you are in El Paso? I keep forgetting if she came to you or if both of you went to El Paso to visit BWOMS. Okay, why can am I the only one who cannot hear her?
No, I can't hear her.
Okay, so it's not me. Poetcon, there is something with your mic. I'm not sure what it is. Oh no, we're gonna need to fix that because I do want to hear from you. Okay, so while the Fishnet Poet is fixing that, let's go from El Paso over to New Jersey. We have coming up not just one, but two. Richie put them next to each other. Terry Rose Jurtson, on deck Nick P. But first, Terry Rose Jurtson. Are you there, Terry Rose Jurtson? Yes,
I'm
you.
right here.
And
Hello.
And you have an interesting background, Touching Tongues, which is...
Yes, see it? That's the book with
And
the anthology. I am in that. If anyone is interested in a copy from me, just PM me.
Good. I love
Teresa Rose Jurtson on Facebook or iFunny's Mom on Instagram.
Why is it iFunny's Mom? What's the story behind that Instagram handle?
It's kind of a long story.
Okay.
Let me see if I can shorten it. I was spying on my son, and my son, his handle was iFunnies. So I wanted his friends to know it was me, and if I ever needed to track him down, I would instant message his friends, and he would get really mad at me. But you know, for a while, you know, sometimes they try to disappear on you, and you kind of got to keep an eye because you know, when they're up to no good, you kind of got to watch and make sure that they don't get themselves into trouble.
I love it. I love it.
I'm a true mom in every sense of the word.
No, I love it. Has he changed his Instagram handle since then, since you called yourself iFunny's Mom, or
Of course he changes it and he goes on something else or he goes on a different platform that I don't even go on, so he can do whatever. He's 21 now. You know, he does what he wants. He's an adult, sort of young adult.
Everyone, all the young folks here, we older adults, a little over 30, we will find your platform. You know, we came after you on Facebook, we found Instagram, we are on TikTok.
Of course I can hunt him down if I want.
Exactly. It doesn't matter which platform you invent, we're gonna eventually, you know, come there, take it over, and that's when they sadly leave and find another one. But
Actually, he still lives with me, so I just walk in on him. I knock on the door first, and then I walk in on him and see if I'm curious as to what he's doing. But he pretty much, we have a good open relationship. I mean, he tells me pretty much everything, so I don't really have to do that anymore.
And I love what Finn Bell just put. I am iFunny's mom. I love it. I love it. All right, enough of this funny stories. Terry, go.
Really, it's getting late. We're getting really silly here. Okay, so I wrote this just now, actually. I had a couple of Karen poems. I have a Karen poem that's saying I am not a Karen. And this one is just about Karen and her kind. Is it real or is it Maybelline? What is she wearing? Her heart on her sleeve, her privilege on her face and lips. Exercise that demon, wielding her power, her privilege, smashing the little people because she is better than they are. But she will never say such a thing because she has more wealth and can feel better about herself and not so guilty when she leaves extra change on the counter for the next person in line at the store and then tells everybody about it. I have to turn the page and it's sticky. I'm sorry. When Karen dies, she specifies in her will and testament that her riches will be left to her pet cat because she can't see the worth in people, but she would never say such a thing. She passes by those less fortunate with her rings turned inside her fingers and her Versace bag shoved in a cheap tote, so it cannot be glimpsed by those in need, lest they expect more than the change that falls in the bottom of said bag. She passes by them, averting her gaze. She thinks she will pray for them to improve their condition. Good Christian woman, the church lady, going to congregate with others just like her every Sunday. Jesus will save her, them, those less fortunate, all dressed in their Sunday best, never realizing that they put lipstick on a pig and praise the Lord.
And is that the end of the praise? And
yes, it is.
okay, well then let's all praise Terry Rosejohnson. Yay! Yes. Bravo, bravo! That was amazing. So Terry, I did forget to mention you also featured besides a poet and storyteller, and you on the anthology, and I know you're going to be an upcoming debut poet at Red or Green Books, where your book will be published this year. You also are an artist. You paint, you draw, and you featured with me at The Word is Right as our first visual artist at the Equestrian Poetry and Prose. And I really enjoyed your paintings and drawings that you brought. So if anyone wants to look at your art, commission your art, wants to follow you, wants to buy your book, let us know verbally again how we can follow you or where we can get all the amazing books and other information from you.
On Facebook, Teresa Rose Jurtson, and on Instagram, it's late. I can't get my thoughts together. On Instagram, iFunny's mom. It's IFUNNIZ. I can't even spell it. Mom.
Not yet grandma, like he's only 21, so I hope he's gonna wait a little bit longer before you make your grandma.
Yeah, not yet grandma, but all my friends are grandmas, and I am jealous because I would love to have, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to put it out there. I'll just admire everybody else's grandbabies and then I'll give them back. And I won't have to change a diaper.
I hear you. That's the best way. You are so funny. I love when you crack up at your own jokes. So that is so cool.
I'm just delirious at this hour.
Hey, it's late on the East Coast. Even though we are in neighboring states, you're in New Jersey, I'm in New York, and it's like, I'm looking at the clock. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning already. BWOMS, what are you doing to us here? But we still have a little more on the list, though. So thank you, Terry. We're going to stay in New Jersey. Up next is Nick P. Then on deck, Ed. But before I go to Nick, two things. I want to bridge, because we can have two performers from the same state right after another. Richie, what did you do to the list? You're supposed to switch it up like back and forth to other states. Yeah?
That's how they signed up. All right, fair. Go. What's up?
I'm kidding. So I'm gonna put myself in between. I did find a poem that I can read since since you and some others had asked me to read. But before I do, you're also keeping me on tour. I don't know if some of you noticed in Zoom, but Richie has that coffee mug up right now. You can see it on his picture because of the BWOMS logo behind it, though, but I see it under the participants pane. And when I put my mouse over, it says that you're away. But I see you here. You're not away. Yep, and you're drinking your coffee. So you have that coffee icon up right now under the reactions. And then Oksana, you have the check mark up. And when I point my mouse over, it says yes. So Oksana, for the last 20 minutes, has been saying yes to every poem, every story she's been hearing. Yes. Hold on, I'm going to try it myself. You know what? Oh, here we go. Now I have a coffee mark icon as well. That's what you have up right now, Richie. So let me see how I can stop this. I think I go back. Yep, and it goes away when I click on it again. All right, so while Richie is drinking his coffee and his virtual coffee mug icon in Zoom, I'm going to read you a quick poem that I wrote 2 years ago in an online workshop. The workshop was called Thank You for Leaning on Me. The workshop was called Lean on Me, and I wrote a poem called Thank You for Leaning on Me. And this goes for everyone who supported others during the pandemic, like these persons did for me. I needed someone to lean on. You were there for me, though in the crisis, leaning was done virtually. In Skype, you listened to me. Via Zoom, you gave me courage. You blessed me with your words, made sure pessimism didn't flourish. When we videoed, you told me to march on. When we phoned, you urged me to not give up, to not be done. I do not know how to ever repay you, but you have lended a friend for life, the best I ever knew. Trust me, you will never get rid of me. We will always lean on each other for free. But even if we need to part ways or drift, I will always cherish your gift. I will pass on your kindness to others. This one I will do and be. I will lean on them, just like you did with me. And this was my short poem, since some of you gave us short poems, so I contributed my short poem. All right, back. Thank you. Thank you so much, Oksana. And yes, you're giving your heart and your green check mark. Yes, I love it. All right, back to the list. Nick P on deck. Ed, get ready. Nick P, where is your book? I know I have it here somewhere.
It's somewhere.
Here it is.
It's somewhere.
Here it is. Action.
Oh, multiple books. Yeah.
Yes.
See Richie holding that up too.
And hold on a second. I have to tell you, Nick, because when you guys sign up on the spreadsheet, again, there is this field, where are you zooming in from? And you wrote New Jersey ! To make sure. It's not just New Jersey, it's New Jersey. This is where you're from. This is where you're zooming in from.
Yeah, Ron, Richie did that, not me. Richie did that, not me. Nope. I usually say Meadowlands or Swamps of Jersey or some shit.
I love it.
Anyways.
Nick, let me just tell you, I met you at Paul Cancasso's. You and he went to the same university, and you put out an anthology, I Cannot Breathe, and the Quarantine anthology 2 years ago. You came to the event, you spit some poetry, then you came to the New Regan Post Cafe, and that's when you took off. Like your previous life as a broadcaster, you actually became besides Advocate of Words and besides Richie and Kid, you became another gold standard of hosting, because you hosted like almost every possible platform except for Bronx Out on Fun Hub. Well, you did do a workshop with me, but you didn't host it. Because I don't produce many open mics, but you are just such a shining example of how to guest host, how to co-host. You now have your own show at The Word Is Right, where you and I alternate. You host starting in March, which is both a workshop and an open mic every first and third Wednesday of the month. I host a writing meetup every second and fourth Wednesday. You hosted with Elizabeth and me a workshop on how to host a workshop or open mic, which was, very ingenious. You tech hosted on the New Rican Poets Cafe, and then I took over, and now I'm the assistant producer there. I hope you can make it to karaoke. I know we're gonna see each other at the New York City
Right.
Festival again. You're just everywhere. How are you doing in the New Jersey world tonight?
I am feeling tired as all hell right now. It's almost 1 a.m. and like I'm feeling that tiredness right now. So let me just roll on into this right now. So let me just get on into this. You can follow me at the Real Nick P on IG right there. I'm hosting Tumblewards this Saturday, so y'all better come through for that. We're gonna be making some not mashed potatoes. We're gonna be making some mashed potatoes. Okay, there might be a recipe in there somewhat of mashed potatoes, but hey, who knows? We will get that link as soon as I get that and everything for you. All right, I'm kind of feeling my feels right now and everything, and nearly lost a friend too as well. I found this out like last week that I nearly lost a friend. So let me just go on into this. This first one's from my book. It's called Becoming the Bottle. The tequila, the whiskey, the rye, the bourbon, the vodka, now watch my body die. After a while, the alcohol starts glowing, starts to speak to me. The more I drink, the more more it wants to envelop into me. I consume more as aura warms on the surface, more salt and lime to dry the burns. My mind takes turns with which one I am today. I am each day. Wake up after a long night, release it from my gut, realize what I have become, the poison that plagues me, wishing for more to appease me. One more shot, one more drink. I lose memory most times. I would have stopped a long time ago. The hangover leads me to more. The chaos consumes me. I devolve from the person you see to something else. At least now that the binge is over, I put a limit on it, simmers the relationship. It's more love-hate now. I love to release the barrier. I hate putting it back up, even though it seems like a lifetime membership. I'm ready to quit it because my body is corrupted. My liver is sick of filtering. My stomach's sick of churning. My brain from blows. My heart from breaking. My lungs from gasping. My body from corroding. I have no one to blame but myself, I'll admit. To you, dearly beloved alcohol, I loved you and now loathe you. All of your bullshit. I have become the bottle encasing it all inside. The bottle has broken. I merged with shards sharpened to skin. Thank you, alcohol, for all the damage you've caused. Piece of garbage. All right. I gotta let that one out. I'm gonna end with a more lighter poem of mine. And this one is becoming a fan favorite of mine. This one's called Walk the Crescent Moon. I walked on moonlight once. It was a beautiful paradise where roses kissed the river goodnight, where the wind howled to me, called for me to keep going on. As the touch against my face turned my nose into faucets, endless water ran down, not just my faucets, my eyes cried too. I was looking for peace in the night sky. I caught a piece of pulsar in my heart. I felt pulses of every inch of my body, a calming effect. The walk along the streets of New York go by quickly when you are holding the hand of someone you love. Broadway lights become saffron silhouettes. When lonely, it feels peaceful. No one pays attention to you anyways. They look for the next destination, even though they are already where they need to be. Heaven called me many times. When the empire became a building, when Madison bloomed a garden, when stadiums became cathedrals, when restaurants became recharging ports. Where cameras became poetry, an ekphrastic explanation of visual artistry in the lines where the picture fades, the memory goes next. The eyes remember the most, as it takes in the glory of the night sky to remind the mind of the will of the body, a body that appears to decay. Decaying doesn't mean destroying. A rebellion the body undergoes is a rebuilding and purifying. Moonlight came out again to greet sunlight. An eclipse of emotions ran through me. I felt like I was comfortable. I was home, along the lines of the crescent moon.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm sorry about your friend.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing well now. He's doing well now, so that's good. He's doing well. So, yeah.
That was a tough piece. Yeah, I've dealt with alcoholism in my family as well. I've seen what damage it can do, and that's one of the reason at 19, I stopped drinking any alcohol. If you come to my home, there is no alcohol whatsoever. I don't need alcohol, to feel good. I do have a different addiction, chocolate and sugar, so I substitute that, it's just different, but I can see what it does. Wow. Nick P, with your tiredness and what the pain that you go from, I think we need to go to church. You know where I'm going at. Can you tell everyone, because you've recently became an online minister, in a different way. Can you tell us?
Yeah, in a different way that I became that. The next Vivacious Church will be on March 4th. I was supposed to do one Sunday, but that one doesn't look like it's going to happen. I have to move some stuff out of my grandma's house and everything, so that one I'm not going to do because I'm going to be exhausted as all heck. So I'm not going to be a tired preacher, so to speak. But the next one will be on March 4th. I am also going to be hosting Fincabulary Poetry Games on the 10th. I have my own open mic and everything too as well. And if you want to get my book too as well, you can always message me on right there, Real Nick P, or also Facebook. Look at my name, Nick Paleo logos and everything. I'll drop all my info in the chat and everything. It's been a good night tonight. Let's keep it going. All right. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Nick. We really appreciate it. Yes, and watch out, Nick. He also frequently guest hosts here at BWOMS and so many other organizations like Fincabulary. So thank you so much for being here, Nick. And the church that he was talking about at Poetry Global Network, he is a team member there as well. So thank you so much, Nick. All right, coming up, Ed, Poetastic, On Deck, Nico, Richie and Kit, I know we're going to go overtime. That usually happens when I guest host at Fincabulary. I know we didn't start here on time. We started a little bit late. I'm still going to try my best, but I don't want to take away anyone's chance. Yep, I saw Richie looking at the what is the time already?
No worries. We usually go to 30 minutes after the hour. So, we don't have a time limit, honestly. Just, we got Ed, Nico,
by
Julian.
law,
Kit,
we have to allow Dan the Man. If we, even if we're overtime, Dan the Man still has to, we still have to fit him in. So Dan the Man, you're still about 8 or 9 performers away.
Well, I'm gonna do a quick free. Hold on.
It's okay, Dan. We're good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
No, I'm gonna do a quick. Freestyling, and then I got two poetries for Brandon Bailey Johnson.
It's not. We weren't calling you up. We weren't calling you up. It was just a joke.
Oh my God! What did I start here? Okay, then
I want to ask it, and then I'm gonna ask after the short freelance. I'm gonna ask Ron to reintroduce me.
Okay, I will do that. So that was a teaser, everyone. Just like on television, coming up in about half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on, how we will see Dan the Man. So Dan, I'm gonna mute you, okay? And now coming up is Ed Poetastic, who is just as poetastic as Dan the Man. Ed is zooming in from Washington, D.C., which he did put in the Google spreadsheet. Okay, Ed is such a wonderful person. Look, he is smiling right now. Ed, you are always uplifting, always inspirational. I met you at the Neo Regan Poets Cafes online. You have become such a great friend. When I'm down, you Facebook message me inspirational messages. We just love you. You are now a team member at The Word is Right. You help me out on the tech side there. You now co-host with Lady Tiffany, with Bronx Out and Fun Up and The Word is Right every first Friday of the month. A ray of sunshine, positivity open mic. And who else but you and Tiffany could co-host this? We need inspiration.
Because of you.
That's why.
All because of you. Bringing up to the light. You're such a delight every night.
And he is the rhymer on the spot. If there is a rhyming, instead of a poet laureate, a rhyming laureate, Ed would have that title. So Ed, I hope you brought a few knock-knock jokes, a few songs, and a few regular poems, but you can let us know where we can find you, and then go ahead, the floor is all yours. I'm excited you're here. Go ahead.
Thank you forevermore. Richie, I love you and your musical poetry. All right, let's start from the heart. My name is Ed Potasco, and I'm feeling fantastic. Please get a time so I could join my rhyme for all I feel sublime. I got 3 pieces, so they're gonna rhyme. I got this other piece, but I don't want to change the mood, so I save it for Monday. It's kind of raunchy. There's a few bombs in it. I think Marissa and Joy Jesus knows what I'm talking about, so I'll save it on Monday because I love your spirit. I want to keep the inspiration up. So let's just go to Scarred Orphan. Let me see. All right. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sorry. Scar.
Uh-oh, if you can't find it, you're gonna have to come up with something on the spot then.
Oh, I wish I can, but I don't know what's hot.
Everything is.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. They hide me away, ferociously yelling at me. A miracle, I pray, something to set me free. Why do I stay? I'm a scruffy tree. I see other kids play. They look so at ease, envious of their childish days, belittled by my uncle and auntie on every single day. The chores hurt my hands and knees. My heart corrodes and decays. An antidote for this harsh disease, praying for the hope or a way. Dreams off in a strong breeze, open for what punishment has to say. What's that sound? Birds? No, maybe bees. An owl? A letter saying sorry for the delays. My hands quickly squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze. Lines saying Hogwarts, pack your bags, okay? Oh my God, so many hopes, dreams, and guarantees. Grab my wand, cheering, hip hip hooray! No more hurtful loneliness or crying seas. No more darkened sleep or crazy disarrays. No more cold peas or leftover cheese. Finally, a magical purpose. I don't have to stay. I kept nodding. I agree, and agree. Grab my bags. My spectacular adventure starts today. I jump wider than the grasshopper or flea. So long to obedient okays, mediocre rays, and empty meal trays. I couldn't stop saying yes, 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 and please, please, please. My own venture to a new chapter that's underway. Thank you. All right. Next one is called the other one's called Noir Queen. It's sort of a love story. She was a bottle of wonder and mystery, only gave out a few clues. I was lost in her cheerful tapestry. My mind was lost in the deep blues. The sun reflected on her like a sunlight through a tall hourglass. I just stare. She looked like a student staring at a clock. She really didn't care. Her makeup was colorful like a high quality paint spilled on a ballroom floor. Her heart was like a camel. It wasn't parched, but thirsty for more. She needed a great friend like a dog needed a milk bone. Her heart was soft, like fluffy marshmallows. Then it turned to rough stone. Our days were bittersweet like a day-old cup of sweetened black coffee. She was bored like a swimmer bobbing, floating in the sea. Her eyes shine like diamonds every time she talks about her thief in the night. I guess there's two dull black and white shadows between the twilight. She talked about him like a follower talks about their Messiah or God. I stood there, a statue that's shocked, confused, and odd. She kept saying how her thief gave her treasures in the night, yet vanishes in the day. I'm sorry, darling. He's like a comet, there, but never stays. She stares at her cell phone like a rider waiting for an untimely bus. To me, it was like looking at a sculpture turn into rust and dust. Her eyes and mouth turned to lava like a cranky erupting volcano. I was mute like a regular in a library reading a book labeled No. She wanted his blood like a hungry killer with bloodlust to the brim. Her cell phone vibrates. Her ferocity went quietly dim. He texted her. She looked calmer like the eye of a noisy thunderstorm. I heard a loud sound like a trumpet or a French horn. My mouth was sealed like a secret eye with a golden locket. I felt dirty like a pig rolling around sloppy, filthy shit. I want to say he doesn't care about you, but it would be like teaching the blind or the deaf. I wanted to say it, but like a mockingbird, she chirped and left. It's a crime. I left indifferent like a badgeless cop on a vacation. I felt helpless like a fly wrapped around a sticky situation. Now I feel alone like an ant in a giant sandbox. I just be here like a starfish on a comfy rock. Thank you. All right, I got one more store for an encore. Woo! What's up with that? Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
This is called My Brother. My brother, you're never alone. Your tools are with me. They'll make it full of iron and stone. Be plentiful, boundless, and free. My brother, stay healthy and strong. Keep building your tree. It doesn't matter how long. Make it vast, crypt, and endless like the sea. My brother, stay honest and true. Be the luminous light in the abyss. Let your words stick as white glue. Let it fuel our inner breathing wish. My brother, I know life isn't so kind. It's rough. Doesn't mean you have to be. Help us spot the annoying landmines. Give us a new lens in order to help us live and see. My brother, be the shade for the blazing sun. Build us land to stand on. Tell us to use our tools instead of guns. Help nurture our minds and bodies to stay strong. My brother, surpass your limits to break the glass ceiling. Give us wings to live, strive, and fly. Teach us more than mindless killings. Give us stepping stones to be more than just another guy. My brother, I love you, even if I don't know your name. Right now, I'm a part of you. No, don't think that way or be ashamed. I trust you. You know what to say and do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's thank Ed Poetastic. Everyone, unmute yourself.
Yeah, Ed.
Bravo,
We're
bravo.
playing today.
Yeah.
Woo, love you guys.
You came to
And
slay,
girls.
Eddie. Okay, I see that.
I love it. You know, and I noticed that Rich, you mentioned that in the chat today, and then I think last week as well. The way you change your voice from the happy, the outgoing, funny, you know, knock jokes, and then let's visit the very serious, you know, Ed Poetastic, almost erotic style, you know, which I always blame Marissa, you know, for getting it, but you're so good with, you know, this stuff. So it's like, wow. And I also like then how you curated it, because then you switch back to another voice again, and then you ended it with differently, though, you know, with the My Brother poem. So Ed, that was fantastic. Ed, besides the Array of Sunshine open mic that you host at Bronx Art and Fun Up and The Word is Right, I know you're going to have an upcoming workshop at The Word is Right or poetry games at the Film Capital, or both, I believe so, right?
Yep, the word is right. I was supposed to make my my workshop to teach about rhymes. If we have the time, it'll be sublime. It'll be March the 29th or on Sunday. Yeah. So please come and learn some wordplay. You don't have to rhyme, but it'll be okay.
We're all gonna be rhyming just like Ed Poetastic, and we're gonna all become poetastic poets. So thank you so much, Ed. Put in the chat again how we can follow you. So glad you're here. So glad you have all that energy. Thank you so much for being you, just for being you, you know. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Yay. All right, coming up next, whoa, let me switch back to the spreadsheet here, and it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Nico Kim on deck, Julian Matthews. But let's remind everyone where we are. We are on BWOMS, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, Monday evening, stay at home online open mic. I am your guest host, Ron Marc Thomson. If you want to follow BWOMS on social media, I just put the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, and the Instagram page. On the YouTube channel, which I sometimes do, if you missed portions of today's open mic or the entire open mic, if you ever, you know, like how some of us binge TV shows and the next morning we catch up, well, why don't you catch up on BWOMS? You know, you can, while you brush your teeth, while you eat breakfast, put it on your phone And if you have a YouTube account, subscribe to it, and YouTube will remember where you left off. So if you can't listen all the way to the end, stop it. And then when you come back home, when you're running outside, jogging at the gym, continue where you left off. So this is, great feature. All of BWOMS open mics here on Mondays are streamed to YouTube, so you can never miss it. So that we don't miss the next performer, Nico Kim. Now, Nico, let me just make sure, are you still there? Yes, you are. Okay, and you're walking right now. You're giving us a tour of your apartment. You're looking pretty tall there. Nico, in the spreadsheet, you did put where you're zooming from Wonder Lake, and then it looks like Roman #2, or is it Illinois? What does the two
I think context would allow one to assume that that's Illinois.
Illinois. Okay, it looks like a Roman too, but because got it. So Wonder Lake, is that an actual lake in Illinois, or is it just the name of the town?
It's a man-made one.
Okay, good. How cold is it in Illinois? Do you have like harsh winters like we have here on the East Coast?
It's not as cold as New York, but I'd like to get to the poem so other people can get to it too.
Go ahead.
Sure.
I know I'm talking too much. Nico, everyone, welcome back, Nico. Let's hear what he brought to the open mic here. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just have like a snippet of a song, like 3 poems. When I get into the poetry, I apologize, my face will disappear. They say free when you're singled out. The red, well, it filters through. So lady, love the red is real. As his side goes red again. So now I will do the poems. Let me find them. Scoop. Let the pent-up demons out, I tell Sansa as her bark echoes the empty walls of my house, directed at whatever rodent playing in the trash bins. Hell, I would if I could. Didn't get to tonight. The dogs are barking heavy and didn't let Nico play. Virgin Nose would have found its cherry pop, but had social status and played its territory. It's okay, babyface. I'd want a whole bar to protect me from Me Too. I use my notepad as a filter. You see, I think I'm a good man. I just have a bad mouth. Using explosive language expressed by vulgar images and backed by the aesthetic of bare knuckle scrimmages you can see marking my face, I can understand being told I'm off-putting or distasteful. It wouldn't be wasteful words. Like when my face is compared to an innocent boy chasing birds, I wonder what small-minded herds these sheeple grew up in to assume their shepherd could somehow give them some kind of one-uppance, their comeuppance I need not inflict, lest I contradict the concept of being good. Being misunderstood is at the fault of the poor bard, but it's hard not to act the way society treats me. I know that's childish, but that's how society sees me. Until they seize me and all I'm worth, my value more than the cost of any earthly possession, the only recession I'll find myself in is when I stop believing in not just myself, but all the ones who surround me. Profoundly, the sound we make when our hearts beat all together is the loud and lauding laughter of the masters of the universe. If I could write just one verse to immerse those who are cursed to hear my words as they emerge from the worst cracks and crannies of my evil mind, maybe then I'd find the line or rhyme that could solidify my position somewhere in the annals of canon. And in the time it takes for me to be able to transpose such a concept, I'll probably find myself dead from running my mouth. So for that reason, I can be perceived in a way where I seem nice or quiet. Big yikes. Sick moves, bro. Slick as fuck, Nico. Need to blow steam and smoke rings. Smoked hope, stoked fire. I went for broke and learned that hope only brings a result. It's just, this wasn't the one I wanted. Daunted by my own damn self-doubt, I guess I'm just desperate, looking for help out of my mind, a continuous distraction to bring me back down to earth. I'm way too damn spacey. I guess I just like looking at things from an elevated state. Montana. It makes it seem like I relegated my latest emotions to the stasis of winter, frozen. And I suppose in the time it takes to thaw away the foggy smoke in my mind today, while I get to clearing the slush and laying a ridiculous amount of salt down, instead of having a meltdown when I can't find my direction, the only action that heed my correction would be that I just need to continue to plow on, because you can't paint roads with snow on them. Thank you, guys.
Wow, let's thank
Oh, yeah, Nico.
That was so
man,
good.
right on.
So good.
Whew, powerful. And that singing voice at the beginning, that kind of, surprised me, because I don't remember you singing that way previously. I was like, whoa, even your phone Zoom audio cut you off a little bit, because I think you have to enable original audio, but it was so powerful, so, amazing, wow. Nico, where can we follow you? Is there any feature, any event that you're featuring at, any workshop?
No, I'm a nobody. I just like doing poetry for fun until I finally get published somewhere.
Okay. Well, I know BWOMS always have something published. I actually missed submitting something for the Ekfrestric poetry that you guys did at BWOMS a few months ago. I remember there was that deadline for this. So, Richie, is there anything upcoming at BWOMS?
No, that was a really fun one. I actually want to publish on our website people's poems, so I'm gonna send an email out. I do have some stuff in April. One thing in April. One thing. Plenty of stuff planned, but follow us. I'll announce it once they're closer to the date.
Sounds good. All right, thank you, Nico. Coming up next, we have Julian Matthews, On Deck Kid Ran. Julian, are you there? Yes, you are. As from Malaysia, and you always have interesting backgrounds. Who is that wonderful lady behind you in your background today?
So it's Jane Machevsky, aka Nightbird. She became famous last year when she sang the song I'm Okay on America's Got Talent. So I'm just going to read a blog post of something she wrote long before she became famous, which had a huge impact on me. I'm God's downstairs neighbor, banging on the ceiling with a broomstick. I show up at his door every day, sometimes with songs, sometimes with curses, sometimes apologies, gifts, questions, demands. Sometimes I use my key under the mat to let myself in. Other times I sulk outside until he opens the door to me himself. I've called him a cheat and a liar, and I meant it. I've told him I wanted to die, and I meant it. Tears have become the only prayer I know. Prayers roll over my nostrils and drip down my forearms. They fall to the ground as I reach for him. These are the prayers I repeat night and day. Sunrise, sunset. Call me bitter if you want to. That's fair. Count me among the angry, the cynical, the offended, the hardened, but count me also among the friends of God. For I have seen him in rare form. I have felt his exhale, laid in his shadow, squinted to read the message he wrote for me in the grout. I'm sad too. If an explanation would help, he would write me one, I know it, but maybe an explanation would only start an argument between us, and I don't want to argue with God. I want to lay in a hammock with him and trace the veins in his arms. I remind myself that I'm praying to the God who let the Israelites stay lost for decades. They begged to arrive in the promised land, but instead, he let them wander. Answering prayers they didn't pray for 40 years, their shoes didn't wear out. Fire lit their path each night. Every morning he sent them mercy bread from heaven. I look hard for the answers to the prayers that I didn't pray. I look for the mercy bread that he promised to bake fresh for me each morning. The Israelites called it manna, which means, what is it? That's the same question I'm asking again. There's mercy here somewhere, but what is it? What is it? What is it? I see mercy in the dusty sunlight that outlines the trees, in my mother's crooked hands, in the blanket my friend left for me, in the harmony of the wind chimes. It's not the mercy that I asked for, but it is mercy nonetheless. And I learn a new prayer. Thank you. It's a prayer I don't mean yet, but will repeat until I do. Call me cursed. Call me lost. Call me scorned, but that's not all. Call me chosen, blessed, sought after. Call me the one who God whispers his secrets to. I am the one whose belly is filled with loaves of mercy that were hidden for me. Even on days when I'm not so sick, sometimes I go lay on the mat in the afternoon light to listen for him. I know it sounds crazy and I can't really explain it, but God is in there. Even now, I've heard it said that some people can't see God because they won't look low enough. And it's true. If you can't see him, look lower. God is on the bathroom floor. Jane Machuski, Nightbird. Goodbye. Thank you for your words and your music.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn. Julian, you always bring it. You always
Incredible. Just incredible.
Indeed. Whew. Wow, Julian. Julian, let everyone know how we can follow you anywhere you'll be featuring at or anything that you have published. Did we lose you, Julian? Okay, Julian, put it in. Oh, here we go.
Just leave it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, that was powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us, Julian. Okay, thank you. All right, coming up next, Kid Ran on deck, Mr. Tess. Kid, what can I say about Kid? I always give kudos to Richie because he is like the usual visual face to BWOMS, but Richie is not doing it himself. Kid is his partner at BWOMS, and Kid also works for the Tumblewood Project. And Kid, I didn't even realize how much you were doing. First of all, you always answer in the chat right away, questions that I or others ask. And then I noticed at the live stream YouTube videos that you guys stream, you actually go back, like, I don't know if it's tonight or the next morning, and you timestamp each and every, at what time the poet or the performer came on, which I was so impressed, So if
it's usually about Friday. Don't give me too much credit. It's a long turnaround, but
I can imagine that, so you're doing, so much, you're doing so much that sometimes we don't even get to see your hair because your camera is not to tilt up. And Kid,
beautiful hair too.
Yes, oh yeah, because you're hiding your hair, like, I love it. And there is something else I just found out today. So when I, tagged Richie and you on my Instagram post for tonight, your Instagram handle is Kid Ran, WREN, away. But is that kind of a wordplay? Kid ran away, like? Okay.
You got it, yeah.
I was like, wow, I have to ask him about it if I'm just reading it like this or if you really did it like this. So that's very smart, And I'm so pleased to finally get Robin. I've seen her so many times here. Did not realize she was your mom. Well, how nice, you got your talent from her, so that's good. Kit, I know you always bring your best. You are in El Paso, right? You're not moonlighting from a suburb or somewhere, right? Okay.
El Paso is kind of unique in that it doesn't really have suburbs.
Wow. Okay.
We're kind of on our own.
Well, except the Mexican city right across the border is kind of like, I guess, like almost like a twin cities, no?
Sister city.
Sister cities. Okay, that's the right.
That's what we'll call Juarez.
Sounds good. I love it. All right, Kit, what did your floor's all yours. You can let us know before or after your performance where we can find you. The mic is all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate it, Ron. Welcome to the fraternity of hosts. You're the fifth one. If you believe in numerology, that I'll help you that way. But I have two of mine and then the cover poem. And let's just get into it, shall we? I don't know how the conversation transitioned from bad puns to general theories of art, but it was sudden and regrettable. He insisted to us repeatedly that it's only art if the artist thought it would change the world. He had no methods. He had no examples. He was so earnestly wrong-headed that I wanted to hug him and tell him everything's going to be okay, little buddy. But these gestures can be misinterpreted. My smaller, fairer, and meaner companion went on the attack, recited the theories of Deleuze like a prayer, intense and precise. She leaned in, triumphant, as his face became gaunt, confronted with what he did not know that he did not know. And for my part, I contributed flecks of light at the margin. I mentioned the death of the author, the intention fallacy, and a shortened tale of Kafka and Kafka's dull, slow-witted friend, Max, the least reliable literary executor in the world, a man who could not be trusted to start a fire with just paper. He was, in the end, unfazed, unconvinced, unshaken. He continued to believe in things unseen and soon moved on to the all-hour sandwich shop next door. And we, the unacknowledged legislators at the bar room, ordered 2 more doubles and took turns saying, I don't know, man. I don't know. We didn't. And we were sick with envy of the insolent ones who thought they did, of the man whose innocence we had failed to even dent. My friend in that story is actually getting married this weekend, so thought I should read that. Shout out Maren Henson. Well, that's for me though. That's not for any of you. That's just for me to know. You don't need to know that. But Ron had some fun riffing on the Tumblrs I hosted last week about against love poetry. And if you think I don't like love poetry, Ron, you should hear my opinions on stand-up comedy. And here's one of those.
Okay, I would love to hear it.
Okay. The comedians have renounced raunch and transphobia and hatred in general. They have seen their folly, they tell me. They credit me for their Damascene moment. They line up and they say sorry and thank you as if it is all one word, a chant for newly shaved Hare Krishnas. They have set up this event, the first of its kind post-pandemic, to prove their sincerity to me. One approaches the mic and then another. They are all reading aloud from the same worn copy of Capitalism and Schizophrenia by Giles Deleuze. They pass the one copy between themselves as they all take their turn, going for exactly 7 minutes each. It has a used tag from a college bookstore, University of Vermont. Charlie the Catamount is just barely smiling at me from the crinkled sticker on the spine. Their faces as they perform are intense, and as the others sit and watch, they are rapt. One is taking notes. My companion and I retreat to the patio, and by his leave, I smoked my first cigarette in 4 years. One by one, the comedians follow me out, eager and pleading like seminary students. Is this better? Are we better now, Kit? Have we made up for our sins and our wayward lives? The truth is, I don't know. The truth is, I thought I would always have to fight the comedians for saying one awful thing or another. I viewed it as a responsibility I had to the scene. And the truth is, I have a middle management bred paranoia about what it means when a responsibility gets taken away. The truth is, I liked fighting against the comedians so much that I never gave a thought to what victory would look like. The truth is, I confess to the one with the notebook, I haven't read very much theory. And we come at long last to the cover poem with probably my favorite poet, Jack Gilbert. This is I Imagine the Gods by Jack Gilbert. I imagine the gods saying, we will make it up to you. We will give you 3 wishes, they say. Let me see the squirrels again, I tell them. Let me eat some of the great hog stuffed and roasted on its giant spit and put out steaming into the winter of my neighborhood when I was usually too broke to afford even the 100 grams I ate so happily walking up the cobbles, past the street of the moon and the street of the bird cage makers and the street of silence and the street of the little pissing. We could give you wisdom, they say in their rich voices. Let me go at last to Huguette, I say, the Algerian student with her huge eyes who timidly invited me to her room when I was too young and bewildered that first year in Paris. Let me at least fail at my life. Think, they say patiently, we could make you famous again. Let me fall in love one last time. I beg them, teach me mortality, frighten me into the present. Help me to find the heft of these days that the nights will be full enough and my heart feral. That's it.
Whoa, okay. Everyone unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. So Kit ran in, he may read and write anti-love poetry, anti-comedians, but in real life, he is the most romantic guy, it's like, oh, he is the funniest comedic. It's just a way, like, someone he wants to talk, like, let me show you a different side of it. So I'm thinking that's
when
what
you're
it
a
is.
true believer, you have high standards, I consider myself a great romantic, and that's why the cliched love poetry really sets me off.
Wow. What did you do on Valentine's? Since your workshop was 2 days before Valentine's Day, so what did you do on the real Valentine's Day on Monday, besides being here? Well, before
I was here.
that day, you were here too, damn, So
Yeah.
Richie was your Valentine's Day then, I guess, for all the preparation.
That is not the way I prefer to think about it, so.
Hey, I gave my boss a little Valentine chocolate when I went to work in Manhattan on Saturday. It doesn't matter, Valentine's is just another commercial holiday, So I'm glad you got your, anti-love poetry and all that stuff out. Kid, if we don't see you at Tumblewood's project, you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are like Donna's, assistant, helper, co-partner on the side, right? At
As
Tumblewood?
assistant host, I think is the job title we agreed on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking a few
Any
extra.
features coming up? Any other workshops you'll be teaching?
No features. My next workshop will be April 30th, and it will be about the works of Kim Addonizio, another poet I've covered here a lot. This Saturday, as you've already heard, our presenter at Tumbleworks will be Nick Paleologos. I'm very sorry that I'm going to miss that because I'll be at a wedding in Houston. Well, I'll try and get like a copy of what he's doing in private and just sort of have my own private Tumbleworks. Maybe that'll work. But little sign for those of you, ignore the coffee stain, but Instagram at Kit Renaway, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports, Kofi.com/KitRen. That's going to be dormant until about September. It's a bunch of weird essays about football. You can find me on Facebook easy enough. There's only like 2 Kit Rens on Facebook. One of them like runs a dispensary in California, and I'm the one that doesn't do that. And if you want to drop something into the tip jar, my PayPal is connected to my email. And if you just want to like, comments, complaints, and personal abuse, go to my email where I can safely ignore it. Thanks for hosting us, Ron, and take us at the end.
You're very welcome. Such a pleasure. Hey, you guys are just so welcoming. You're giving me this platform, to guest host. I really appreciate it. And please, don't send any abuse to his email. He will not ignore it. He was just kidding. Remember, he is anti-comedy, anti-comedy. Yes, And by the way, Kid, I also love when you turn your camera off. I love that teddy bear that I've seen also on some of your Instagram posts. It's like, did you actually have?
This is a little beaver. I did not make this. My friend made this. The joke is that Kit is also like the term for a baby beaver, and so this is me. This is me, a little beaver.
Oh,
got the hat, got a scarf. He used to have a little tablet, but it broke off. So did his tail. Oh no.
Can you glue it back on or something like this, or tape it or glue it?
I'm afraid I'll fuck that up, but that's something we'll look into.
I imagine that so much bigger on your Instagram post. It looks, because I think of the camera angle, the way how close up you go. So that's very smart. I love it. Kit Ren. So now the puzzle has been solved. This is where his name came from, Kit. Did not know that. Learning so many things. Wow. Kit, one last time, put it in the chat where we can follow you, all the great information. And again, thank you for partnering with Richie and bringing us BWOMS and Tumblewood's project and all the other exciting projects. And by the way, Kit mentioned he's going to be at a wedding on Saturday, and on Friday, of course, he'll be at the bachelor party, and God knows what's going on there. He may write a poem about it and bring it on Monday, if he comes back on Monday then. So thank you, Kit. All right, we have coming up Mr. Tess and then Dan the Man. I'm going to read a poem before Dan, and I don't like to put people on the spot, but I'm looking through Zoom. The only person that is still here out of everyone who has not yet read is Oksana. And I can do this because Oksana has become an assistant at Bronx Art and Fun Up. So Oksana, if you have a short poem, you still have your check mark up in Zoom, which means yes, yes, yes. So if that means you wanted to be on the list, you do have, you do have a possibility, to do it. So I'm not holding you back. Other than that, we're going to go to Mr. Tesso Moko. You know what? I never say your last name because I'm a little bit, when it comes to reading last name.
It's okay, Ron. Just try it.
You just what? Okay, Mr. Tesso Somok. Did I get it right? Okay, I love Mr. Tess because it just sounds so much more classy, so much more like, yes, that's what we're going to look forward to, because with him, we're getting our Tess Talks, not TED, Tess Talks, which you, by the way, you should make that a brand and you should make that a platform on your pandemic poets in Facebook. Now you are zooming in from Los Angeles, where you work, where you do your music, your poetry. Mr. Tess, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Always a pleasure to listen, to you. Did you bring a little bit music today besides poetry, besides? Oh, right. I'm looking for it. How are you today? I hope you're not tired.
Good. I just have one request, Ron.
Yes.
Just don't be so hard on the beaver.
Oh, on the kid, Mr. Kid, the young beaver. No, I won't be. All right, Mr. Tess, the floor's all yours. You can tell us where we can find you before or after your performance. The floor's all yours.
I think you lost it in translation, Ron. Here we go.
I'm not that smart. I'm just a guest.
Here we go. This one is for the young kids here. I think you guys will recognize it. Under the arc of a weather-stained board, ancient goblins and warlords come out of the ground, not making a sound. The smell of death is all around, and the night when the cold wind blows, no one cares, nobody knows. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. Follow Victor to the sacred place. This ain't a dream I can't escape. Molars and fangs, they're clicking a bone. Spirits moaning on the tombstone. And the night when the moon is bright, someone cries, something ain't right. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. The moon is full, the air is still. All of a sudden, I feel a chill. Victor is grinning, he's rotting away. Skeletons dance, I curse the day. And the night when the wolf cries out, listen close and you can hear me shout. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't wanna live my life again. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't wanna live my life again. Oh no, no. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't wanna live my life, not again. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, who was that? Kit?
How could
It
you
was
do that
me.
to
It
how
had to
could
be
you
a
do
woman.
that to Joey? How could you do that to Joey and Dee Dee Ramone? How could you do that?
I know. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take these guys by surprise. So there's an interesting fact about the Ramones, and the Ramones. Joey Ramone refused to do the pentatonic blues scale, so they're the only band that doesn't actually use the pentatonic scale. And it's another interesting fact is that Miles Davis' success was not dependent on the blues. He had to actually move over to the Western notion of melodics through Bill Evans and through the Aeolian scale, and not actually the blues scale, which is kind of interesting in a weird way. So just for you guys, some factoids there. I'm gonna have one more song.
Go ahead, Mr. Cat.
We're still good. All right, Kit, you ready?
Oh.
Spring is here. Spring is here. Life is Skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do. Don't you? Of course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and it makes every Sunday a treat for me. And all the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. trees all dry and high, but they still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. Sun shining bright and everything's all right when they're poisoning pigeons in the park. We've gained notoriety and caused much anxiety in the Audubon Society with our game. They call it impiety, lack of propriety, and quite a variety of unpleasant names. But it's not against any religion to want to dispose of a pigeon. So if Sunday you're free, don't you come with me and we'll poison the pigeons in the park. And maybe we'll do a squirrel or two while we're poisoning pigeons in the park. We'll murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the few we take home to experiment. My pulse will be quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to a pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison a pigeon in the park.
Yes, everyone, please unmute yourself. Big round of
I'm sure New Yorkers will love that.
Is this a fucking game to you?
Yeah, I was wondering about those lyrics, you know, with the pigeons and we're gonna kill them and we're gonna take them home. I'm like, what the hell am I hearing here? You know?
I'm just interpreting. I didn't write this.
Oh,
Let's see,
okay.
kid, who wrote this?
Tom Lehrer.
Oh my God, you're awesome. Give it up to Kid, man. He knows his stuff. Give it up to Kid.
Wow.
That was called Poisoning Pigeons in the Park by Tom Lehrer. And then the previous one obviously was Joey Ramone from the Ramones. And that was Pet Cemetery. I hope you guys enjoyed the diversity.
We certainly did. Mr. Tess, that was amazing as always. Tell us where we can follow you, and you have this amazing Facebook group. What is the name of that Facebook group for everyone?
Sure, folks can follow me on Gaseous 2019 on Instagram, and then on Facebook under Pandemic Poets. As you guys saw, one of your fearless leaders for the Tumble Words Pro got her book accepted for Gutter Snot Books publisher. I guess that's what it's called, Snob, Gutter Snob. And I'm actually included in that book. I did a bunch of artwork for her. So that's actually kind of interesting. It's a whole totally different. I did some generative adversarial network imagery rendition for her book, and it turned out pretty good. So hopefully when she does her cover revealed event, you guys will get to see some. I did six images in her book, and I think it should be pretty good.
That sounds exciting. So we're going to see yet another side of you that we didn't even know of you had. So I'm looking forward to that. Is that just like a few months away? Do we know this?
I think it's towards the middle of 2022. So like probably August, somewhere out there. That's what I heard. But the the book got accepted and they're doing layout right now. So that's exciting. And I know, and it's good for Donna. I've been pushing her to get some more books out. So she got it together.
Hey, that's the way it should be. BWOMS, you should have your own anthology as well, the BWOMS anthology. Just saying.
We actually we're part of Border Senses, the nonprofit, and we've had for a long time a journal of the arts. It might be making a comeback soon, but not during we have past issues, so that's something definitely though in the future. I'll let you guys know more about.
That sounds good. Yeah, I meant to ask you what Border Senses, because you always have each Monday evening open mic is co-produced by Barbed and Border Senses. And Richie, since we're talking merchandise, you guys also sell T-shirts online. I know I had asked you for coffee mugs, not yet, right? But you do sell T-shirts with the BWOMS logo on it, right?
Yeah, merchandise, that's something I've been wanting to do and is always asked a lot about. Right now we have a t-shirt that we did in collaboration with the former project director of and co-founder of Barbed Wire. His name is Roberto Santos, good friend of mine. We did a collab, and I'll find the link right now. But I figure we only have a few more people. Let's go ahead and get through to them, and then I'll do some quick words in the night too. Yes, thank you guys so much. And the merch, yeah, let me find that link and I'll post it for you guys.
Sounds good. Yes, we have 3 more performers here. Oksana, myself, and then Dan the Man. Dan, I know we keep pushing you to the end, but that's what happens when you wanted to be on the last spot, though. So hang on for just a second. Oksana, are you there?
Okay. At least I'm just giving up the finished and final touches.
Sounds good to me. Hey, we're getting something fresh from Dan the Man. Oksana, do me a favor. I want to see if Zoom works. Can you go to your reactions button and see if you click on that little check mark to see if it disappears? Because I don't know if it's permanent, and it's always there.
You kept telling me about that, and I had no idea how that got there.
You click on your reactions. Click on react. Are you on a phone or on a laptop right now?
Oh yeah.
It went away. Here you go.
It might have been by accident because I was multitasking doing my hair.
That's okay. So Oksana, I'm so glad you're here. You are zooming in from the West Coast, right? I don't want to reveal the city where you're in, but from South California, right?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. And yes, as I mentioned, Oksana also has become a wonderful helper at Bronx Art and Fun Up. She helps me on the tech end, and the co-hosting on some of the programs. Oksana, I'm so glad you're here. I know you're becoming a
I love what Kit said. He said the only thing better than a first-time reader is a second-time reader, because it is my second time. Thank you.
This is your second time. Wow. Well, you better become a third-time reader, a fourth-time reader, a fifth-time reader. So you're gonna have to keep coming back here, And the West Coast, I know it's not yet evening. On the East Coast, it's already 6 o'clock in the morning. But your time, you still have some hours left in the evening. So keep coming back, though. Oksana.
Well, it's almost 11, yeah.
Yes. What did you? I know I put you on the spot, but I'm so glad that you're reading for us. Go ahead. The mic is all yours.
Okay, so I'm just going to share this poem. Thank you, Finn. You're amazing. I know. This one I wrote it recently. It doesn't have a title. I think poems untitled are the best, but here goes. I wanted to escape to a land where not an animal nor human knows my name. Rolling in the sand, staring at seashells, shrinked, observe pebbles. Even they yell my last name from afar north, shores whispering sounds of serene calmness there at the touch of my caramel toes, algaes rubbing the palm of my foot, stuck, black slippery substances. How should I get rid of you? It seems that they plan to linger near my body as a recollection of an invitation of unwanted souls and surprises in life, but necessary. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Short and sweet. Everyone unmute yourself. Give a big round of applause, Oksana. Second time reader, every time reader from now on. So she can no longer hide on Monday.
Oksana.
Yes, awesome.
You
Thank
got your
you.
fans, yes, and I know you also been participating at Fincapillary, Oksana. We like you here. Yes, you have to be with us everywhere we go. Where can we follow you? I know you're not as much active on Facebook, but you do have an active Instagram account we can follow you at. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
the Instagram and Facebook is the same. I'm really not there, but you know, sure. I mean, it's yeah, I can put it in a chat too, but it's just it's like you can see right here my name if it's difficult for people, but just at Oksana Mauricio on Instagram and the Facebook. Obviously, there's no at sign, it's just Oksana Mauricio. People can find me there too. Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to read. I really wasn't expecting, I was enjoying reading because I was doing my hair, but you asked me, I said, okay, thank you so much.
I know I shouldn't do that. And I know when Richie and Kid host, they usually don't impose on participants. But since I know you, and I know you're gonna forgive me, like I wanted to hear you, So thank you for doing it and reading for us. I really appreciate you. And sign up for next week, if you can. Okay.
Thank you.
Next week, another open mic every Monday here, 8 p.m. Mountain time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, it is getting late. I'm gonna table my poem for next week. You know that even when I don't guest host, I'm always back here. So I'm gonna go straight to Dan the Man, and I am the guest host, so I can make that decision. You guys can hear me everywhere else. I read it. I go to other open mics. I'll put my information in the chat again. But it's been such a pleasure to have been, your guest co-host for today. Dan the Man, are you ready? Yes, hold on. Before you say something, in the spreadsheet you put, where are you zooming in from? The location, the 915. Maybe others will know what that means. I have no idea. Again, I'm not the smartest person here. What do you mean by the 915?
That is the area code representing our hometown.
Interesting. And hold on a second. Your town still only has one area code. It hasn't run out yet so far. Wow, you are lucky. Lucky you guys.
Everybody calls it the 915. So yeah, that's how
I didn't know. So that's good to know for me. Dan the Man, and by the way, let me introduce Dan the Man. It's not Dan Rather. It's not Dan Aykroyd. It's not Dan Quayle. It's Dan, the only Dan we should be knowing. Dan the Man. Dan, I'm so glad you're closing us out as is a tradition here. I don't know how much you pay Richie and Kid, to always put you at the end, but I know it's a tradition here. Dan,
that's an idea.
Dan, you always you said you're gonna freestyle something. Are you still?
So let me go ahead and okay. How's everybody doing tonight?
Okay.
Earlier today, well, I was supposed to get some chow mein noodles for dinner. So I left the store. I stopped at the Walmart on Wrestler. When I found out, no chow mein noodles. So I went to the one in Albertsons, I-10 and Red Road. No noodles. I went to the one on Red and Donovan, the Walmart. No noodles. I went to the Walmart on I-10 and iCraft. No noodles. I went to the Albertsons on Mesa and Wrestler. No noodles. I went to the Food King on Mesa. No noodles. And my last chance going to the other Food King on Mesa near Donovan. Ding, 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 ding. I finally got it. There were chow mein noodles. Plenty. And so paid the two, and I went home enjoying the teriyaki chicken and the sweet and sour chicken that my brother made. And I provided the noodles, and it was good. Enjoyed dinner. The end.
That's it. Are you? So I guess if that is the end, you're gonna give us a little nice card with all your social medias, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope. Bottle of water first.
Okay. Okay, Ron, go ahead and reintroduce me because I just prepared two poems for our birthday tribute on this coming Wednesday.
Everyone, we are now listening to Dan the Man, who especially for this night, for a birthday anniversary coming up, he prepared 2 poems that he will exclusively read only here at BWOMS, and he will never read it anywhere else. Dan the Man, we are looking for you. Better make sure that those poems hold up to the hype we just gave it. Go ahead, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Ron. And the CD I have right here is Brandon Bailey Johnson. He is the youngest professional music producer, but at the age of 12, earning a Guinness's World Record. And where's my spotlight? Okay, thank you.
Got it, sorry.
Okay, let me go ahead. And I hold the CD right here is Brandon Bailey Johnson. It's called It's All Good, the EP release. He is El Paso Zone and the youngest music professional producer at the age of 12, earning a Guinness's World Record, becoming the youngest professional music producer. And yep. And I remember first meeting him when it was 7 years ago, well, before he turned 13 at the pizza joint where he made his performance. I was there from his debut album, My Journey. And I gotta say, a very wonderful breakthrough early performance he did. And everybody praised him very well. And throughout the years, I continued to listen to his music, and it was beautiful. I had a couple of his songs on my slideshows, and this is very nice. So, all right, and I prepared a poetry, and it is called Poetry to Brandon Bailey Johnson. My friend Brandon, the young musician who broke the outstanding record by winning a Guinness's World Record to becoming a youngest professional music producer at the age of 12. Throughout the teenage years, producing the music he plays and the beginning of the compose he written, and that's the beginning to hit the Billboard music charts. Then that's where the chants by heart. And with the outstanding performance, mixing song and dance, starting that early chance. Besides, he has the sorry. He has the besides producing, he has a very multitasking, like singing, songwriting, and guitarist. And he's also a multi-instrumentalist, composer, and arranger, something like organizing the sounds and notes, especially the lyrics and the vocals, and significant music prodigy, a melody trilogy, creating songs with proficiency and artwork, breaking barriers, performing the songs like multiple genres like alternative, folk, indie, jazz, rhythm and blues, among others. From I Was There to My Journey, from It's All Good to Late Night Works, playing the breakthrough and noteworthy performance and performance. It's all in the works. And there's a short and a first 4 verse from Last Echo by M. James Sheely, and I quote, "We were walking along parallel paths, humming the same songs, making the echoes that would last," end quote. That's first 4 of the poetry verse by Last Echo by M. James Sheely. Brandon, my friend, you developed an early stage composing music and art of illustration and performance at an early age. Your profession and entertainment keeps us turning the page with grace and excellence at center stage. Your journey is at quest. Keep up what you do best as a youngest art award-winning producer producing, singer, songwriting, guitarist, instrumentalist, sorry, composer, arranger, and the rest. So my best to your family, especially your siblings, Chance and Shelby, to his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. See you later, Brandon, the youngest musician who broke significant records. End quote. That is the poetry to Brandon Bailey Johnson. Okay. Okay, sorry. And this next one, based on my birthday poems on Facebook. It's called Brandon Bailey Johnson. He is the Pisces of the mutable, the amethyst meaning modesty, spiritual, and wisdom, linked to the element weather, and the violet and iris of the violicacy and the iridaceae. It's okay. He was okay. He was born on the 2nd month in the 23rd day in the year 2002. Born and raised in El Paso, right here. From a thriving scholar to his successful up-and-coming rise in fame and a breakthrough performance as a youngest music producer for becoming the Guinness World Record at the age of 12, and especially multi-instrumentalist, guitarist, composer, arranger, singer-songwriter. He represents a thriving academic scholar representing for music, full of drive for success. His favorite color, purple, like from his birthstone, amethyst, to the month of the flower, violet. Purple flower. And get this, his favorite color reminds me of two of his favorite songs. Two songs. Purple Heather by Rod Stewart to his idol Prince, Purple Rain. Yep, like purple rain. Yeah, that's how Brandon Bailey Johnson idolizes Prince and played the song. That was outstanding. He symbolizes sympathy, prominence, independence, wisdom, spiritual, melody, instrumental, juxtapose, creativity, imaginative, breakthrough, dignity, proficiency, keepsakes, complexity, flexibility, portrait, faith, friendship, and most importantly, family. Brandon, my friend, here's to another year of experience. Well, we keep up what you do best as a youngest award-winning producing singer-songwriter, guitarist, composer, arranger, multi-instrumentalist, and especially amazing songs you've created. Sorry. So keep up what you do best, and I wish you all the best in your bright future endeavors. My best to your family, to your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, and to your siblings, Chance and Shelby. Hope all is well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan, or as he is known, agent and public promoter and publicist for Brandon Bailey Johnson. Thank you for all the information that you gave us here, or for the hidden vlog that you were recording that we didn't realize you were doing. I saw that in the chat. Oh.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, my 34th birthday tribute to Brandon Bailey Johnson is this Wednesday, so guys, do not miss it. Okay, you guys gonna like this one. All right, and gotta say, Brandon Bailey Johnson, one of the most outstanding early performances he did. Well, at the age of 12, and then throughout his teenage years, and I gotta say, an amazing songs he's done, and yeah. And I was so proud to be featured in the music video of It's All Good by Brandon Bailey Johnson. I'll share that link.
Now it all makes sense why you said all these things. Okay. All right, then the man, I don't feel bad anymore because I know I'm talking a lot though, but you're giving us a lot of information. It's late. We are down to how many? 8 participants
Let
and
me
one.
let me show you my info.
Yes, your title card or your end credits. Go ahead. Let's put that up. 1, 2, 3. Come on. I know you can do it. It's like it's one click. And we're waiting and suspense. Here we go. Here it is.
All
Almost
right,
there.
guys, here it is. Read it and weep it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And for those who are new, screenshot this, please. All right, don't forget to search. Don't forget the hashtag Search the Animans Weekly on YouTube. Besides, I gotta. Never mind. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Ron, for hosting this one. All right, so whoever's next, and tell Richie to close it in tonight. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Dan. We have 10 more performers, so stick around. I'm just kidding. Okay. But thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for all this information that you gave us. Always looking for you, every week,
Thank
and
you.
thank for all the information. Cool. All right. So that is it. We are down to 8. And as I was mentioning, it's really 7 because one of them is me on my phone because I always, for contingency reason, my computer was slowing down at one point. I actually switched to my phone. So as a producer slash host, it's always good to have 2 separate connections just in case. Richie and Kid, I know you back up each other in case Richie disconnects, Kid can take over. Thank you so much, guys. I know it's been long. Next, if I ever guest host again, I'll put like a 4-minute limit, because I put a 30-second limit on me. So instead of putting a limit on the performers, maybe I need to put a limit on me, not talking so much though, but it was a pleasure. Thank you, Kid. Thank you, Richie. Again, I'll be back here next Monday for regular performing. I'll bring, new poems, new stories. Richie, I'll leave the last word for you. Thank you again for this opportunity. I really enjoyed this. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, you know what? On that note, like I'll be brief because I know it is late. This is one of the rare instances where even in Mountain Time it is a new day. But yeah, no, I get the impulse. Just it's nice to be able to talk to people and just catch up with them, and I fight that impulse often. So for another Monday and Tuesday morning, guys. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to everyone who performed. Ron Marc Thomson. Again, get those links online. Go check out everybody's shows. Everybody's doing really great stuff. So for the online mic, my name is Rich. I think it'll be me next week. I'm not really sure. I need to look at the schedule. But this was a fun one. It's always nice to like change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for the live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and say peace. I'm looking for the button right now to stop it. Thanks for tuning in. Yo, again, leave in the comments. Who did you like? Who did you enjoy? We'll see you next time. All right, bye. I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit because it always cuts off early.